this is the first question. Wait, shit, it's serious. These aren't supposed to be serious. Okay. How do I convince my workplace to give me a promotion and raise? So as somebody who kind of falls on the opposite spectrum of that, because I'm self-employed, but also because the only jobs I've ever worked, I've basically, like, in retrospect, I've worked a lot of unpaid overtime. I am the worst possible person to ask for life advice on, you know, getting paid what you're worth and convincing an employer to pay you what you're worth. So my advice is, you just don't. You just don't. Confronting people, asking them for things, that's the worst thing you could possibly do in this world. That is like a one-way ticket to being fired. You just don't ask them anything. Why would you even think of doing that? You sit down and you hope it gets better. You hope they do it themselves. You hope that they decide to give you a raise. But unfortunately, you're screwed. My serious answer is, conduct a self-reflection. Think of the things that you do right. And once you feel prepared and once you feel like you've done your research, go to your boss, schedule a meeting, and let them know beforehand what the meeting is going to be about so you don't, get them completely blindsided. Maybe ask if there are any other people that have the position that you're trying to get. I don't know. If you have peers that have similar positions in other companies. I don't know. I am not the person to ask this, but I appreciate your trust in me. Should you bring something sharp to the meeting? Yeah, you should bring your best suit. Or maybe a katana. You have no way of telling how these might go. Okay. Next question. How do I get the skibbity sigma riz to catch the huzz? Okay, so there's complete tonal whiplash between these two questions. I have no idea how to feel. So the answer is, if you're using terms like skibbity sigma riz to catch the huzz, you are, as this generation says, cooked. You will not catch the huzz. You are screwed. Give up. Now. You will be single forever. You are chopped, faded, cooked, washed, donezo in the bunzo. I don't know what you guys say. Those are the only things that I know. But all the words you can possibly think of, all the synonyms for cooked, that's what you are. For asking this question. I can translate this for the people that don't know what this means. They're basically asking, how do I get the charisma necessary to attract people of my preferred gender? And the answer is, you don't. You're screwed. Next question. Is huzz ladies? I have no idea. You can be a huzz if you want to, chat. I don't know. Next question. Hi, Allie. I watched you from your VTuber days on other sites. Not here for advice. Just found out you did VTubing this week, and I'm so happy. Thanks for being awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yippee. Not advice, but I'll take it because it's nice. Okay. This isn't advice. We gotta kill them. Nope. They're being nice. They're being nice. I will tolerate it. Okay, thank you. Next. How to stop the horny? Where's my... Wait, Windows. Where did my... Oh my goodness. My laptop is about to die. Oh no. No, don't die. My laptop is about to die. Oh dear. Please, I need to we're back. Whew. It's a sign that this stream is cooked and you should end it right now. I know! But that's why I'm gonna continue, because I love doing things out of spite. Okay, so, how to stop the horny? You think this stream might have been my worst idea yet? I think this is a phenomenal stream. I'm having a good time, and it hasn't even been an hour yet. We're doing great. I'm having such a good time. How do you stop the horny? Okay, so, are you really asking me? Are you really asking the person that decided to make not safe for work content her job? I don't know how to answer this question. How do you stop the horny? I don't know. You just stop it. If you can't, skill issue. But at the same time, please tell me. Please tell me. Because I don't know. I guess, like, you know, sleep, jerk off, maybe eat something, like, really yummy. Actually, no, because when I eat something yummy and I'm in a mood, it just makes me even more in a mood. So I guess, eat something disgusting. Think of something really sad. Like the world's economic problems. That's not gonna make you horny. You can't look at the world's debt and think, man, that really gets me going. So yeah, no, I guess those are, I've given you a lot of advice already. I've stayed too long on this question. Next. I'm debating between training for a welding job and getting a job in soldering. I don't do well with loud noises, but I'm not sure I could do the waiting required for soldering. Any advice on how to choose? Are these your only options? Because it sounds like you have a pretty big hang-up regardless of which path you choose, you know? I mean, I think the thing is, like, with welding, don't you wear special, like, protective earmuffs and shit? If you don't do well with not loud noises, you'd be able to just, you know, put the earmuffs on, and that should get rid of most of the noise. That's what I would imagine. Because it sounds like your issue with welding is that you can't handle loud noises. That's external to it, really. But soldering, it doesn't really sound like you like it very much. I'd say put some earplugs in or some earmuffs in and do the welding if these are your only two options. Thanks for the hydrate. Thanks for 3 months, Lifesaver. Have a good rest of your day. I hope that helps. And if anything, you can say, man, deep into my 20-year welding career, I can't believe that this all started because an anime girl on the internet told me, fuck soldering. Weld some hoes. Next question. How do I make friends and keep them? I've always had trouble keeping friends, but making them is getting harder and harder. Also, how do you message people on Discord when you miss them but don't want to come off as clingy or bothersome? So there are two questions here. My answer to your first question is, that is a question that we all struggle with answering. Getting older is always going to be a shock to anyone that is transitioning out of like high school or being a teen, where all of your friends are surrounding you in school and you can just see them every day. But, that's kind of just gonna be a matter of life, you know? You're gonna have to reprioritize. You're not gonna find yourself with a lot of time. You're gonna have to, like, make your friend circle a little smaller. But if you make, I guess my answer to this question would be, like, get ready to put effort in. You're gonna have to put more effort into maintaining your friendships than you ever have in your life. And they will be rewarding, but it will take work. It will take work. Thanks for the 10 months, Siberius. Another thing I would say is, for the second question, how do you message people on Discord when you miss them but don't want to come off as clingy or bothersome? You just do. You just do. Because if they end up finding you clingy or bothersome, do you want them to be your friend anyway? Because texting them that you miss them doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like, I'm a pretty frank person. I like my cold opens. F? No! Hello? Are we back? Okay, so what I was saying is, I like my cold opens. I, generally speaking, do not provide a lot of context for anything that I am saying ever. And whenever I'm talking to my friends, I kind of just like, if I have something to ask them, I just ask them. I don't care about double texting or triple texting. I just message them. You just gotta be frank. Sometimes, you know, it can be hard to do that. But I promise you, if you miss somebody, you should probably just tell them. I doubt they'll mind. People don't really think about things like that as much as you would think. I say that, but I also have like 200 unread DMs on Discord, so I'm not a good friend. Next question. How are you? I don't know how I am. Holy fuck, I didn't expect to be asked this. I'm doing okay. I had a pretty good day. I'm hoping that my night is also good. But thank you for asking. Breaks down. You see him. I don't know. Man. Fuck. Next question. Dear Ali of the Cursor, I'm craving noodle soup for this Thursday night, but my indecisiveness has me stunlocked between udon, pho, or ramen. Tommy Hort, life essence fading. Please help, Juseo. Why the Juseo, bro? Okay. Okay, dude. So, my answer says... My heart says... ramen? But my brain says... probably... pho. If you're Tommy Hort. I'd say pho if you're Tommy Hort. I feel like it goes down easier. The broth is a little lighter. That's what I'm thinking. Ali says pho. I hope your tummy doesn't hoard anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next question. I'm fat. That's not a question. That is a statement. Do we need to do remedial English lessons? This is not a question. Thank you for telling us that you are fat, but that is not a question. Next question. Boss, I need help fixing my sleep schedule, but I'm dragging my feet because the possibility of letting my cat wonder... Okay, here. Boss, I need to fix my sleep schedule, but I'm dragging my feet because the possibility of a sleep study means letting my cat wonder if I died for a night, and I cannot tolerate that. What do? Just go to sleep! Put your cat's bed in your room and go to sleep! You don't have to go... Do people undergo sleep studies when they go to bed? No? Just go to sleep. Put on Ali ASMR and go to sleep. Ali, people have sleep problems. I know, but you don't have to undergo a sleep study. You can do sleep studies at home. Do this. Don't have any devices in your room. If you have insomnia, get that shit checked. Get it diagnosed, see if you need medications. But you don't have to do a sleep study. You study why you got fucked up sleep. Will you let the professional do the sleep study? Your cat will not wonder if you died for a night. I have left my cat alone for 3 days with opened food, and she didn't give a shit. She was just like, yeah, no. Welcome back, sis. You'll She'll be fine. She'll be fine for a night. She'll be fine. Cats do not give a fuck. They take care of themselves. They're fine. They'll be fine. That sounds dangerous. It's not! As a cat owner, I am telling you right now, that is perfectly fine. It is vet approved. I have asked vets about this. It is fine. I mean, think about it. What's the main difference between you being at home and your cat, like, being alone by themselves? Not much. They're still just eating food, running around, ignoring you, and then cuddling you, but only when they want. If you leave her alone for like 1 to 3 days, it's fine. If you do more than 3 days, maybe hire a cat sitter. But like 3 days at most is totally fine. I own a cat. Oh my god. They'll be fine for a night. Next question. Are you in a relationship? I am in a relationship with my mental health issues. This is not a life advice question. Do people not understand what the word advice means? Do people not understand what this means? Advice. How does this benefit you in any way? I'm married to the grind. I am married to the grind. The next question, am I in a relationship? There you go, that's closer to an advice question. Next question. Is it good to have a long-distance relationship? If you're willing to put in the effort. I mean, the main difference between a long-distance relationship and a real one is that, you know, you just don't really get to meet as much. I would say I'm not the kind of person who thinks they can't work, but I do think that they take a lot of work. So if you're willing to put in that work and the other person is willing to put in like reciprocal work and like you're willing to communicate through issues, it's just like any other relationship. Whether or not they're willing to do that depends on how good you are at picking somebody to be in a long-distance relationship with. But other than that, yeah, no. Whether it's good is up to you. Next question. Whenever it gets stormy, my girlfriend always complains about rain seeping in. I have tried sealing up cracks and cleaning the drainage, but so far that has done nothing. Should I spend thousands of dollars getting a pump installed, or should I untie her and take her out of the basement? Oh my goodness. Okay, so, who's gonna call 911? Who is gonna call 911? At first I was like, you have a girlfriend? Why the fuck are you asking me advice questions here? I was like, what the fuck? Ask her. Go ask her. This is the craziest fucking question. It's okay, Wankies. I knew it was a joke as soon as I got to the second. But yes, somebody please call 911 on this guy. He cannot be trusted. Next question. How do I seem more confident and focus less on my insecurities? Any tips on how to hold/keep a conversation engaging before it really has taken off, especially if talking to a woman? The first 3 to 7 minutes of a conversation. Number 3, how to be more social when you never want to go out, be it a lack of people or saving money. Okay, so my first analysis of this question is that you might be overthinking this. Like, having a conversation with anybody isn't a matter of like, okay, I gotta lock in. The first 3 to 7 minutes are important. Chemistry is a big thing. You don't have to analyze it this deeply, I swear. Sometimes you hit it off, sometimes you don't. You just gotta be yourself and get ready for a series of trial and error. And maybe, try and focus more on being somebody that she can see as a friend first. Just try to be her friend. Like, there should be no especially in front of the if talking to a woman part. Just talk to her like a human being. Just see her as a fellow human being. And I promise you, that will probably get rid of 50% of your anxieties. As for number 1, how do you seem more confident and focus less on your insecurities? Focus on the little things. I hate that this is my main response to that question. And I don't know what your, like, physical limitations are. But if you don't really got too many, and you're not already going to the gym, then maybe, like, start working out. I'm not gonna lie, working out just, it's less of a physical attractiveness thing and more of like a confidence boost thing. Just, like, working out, I'm not gonna lie. Working out. It's a matter of attitude. It's a matter of mentality. You will feel a lot better when you have something to work towards. And it also gives you a hobby that you can, like, bond with other people with. Start working out. I'm not talking looks maxing. I think looks maxing is, like, the philosophy of looks maxing is cringe. And nobody should be thinking about that any deeper than, like, scrolling through, like finding a meme about it and laughing at it. Like, nobody should be putting too much stock on, like, looks maxing philosophy. Like, you know, exercise, it has been proven to boost your, like, you know, like, the positive chemicals that you have flowing through your body. It'll make you feel better. It'll give you something to work towards. It'll give you a hobby that you can talk to people about. It's good. But my cancel tilt. Shh. Those words are banned. These words are banned. Didn't you used to mew? This is why I'm saying, don't be like me. Yes, I used to mew. But it was unintentionally. Until it became intentional. I was just curious. I have a cute face. I wanted it to be, I wanted to see whether I could make it a little bit more mature looking. And I have not succeeded at all. How do you be more social when you never want to go out, be it a lack of people or saving money? Well, you've already described your obstacle. There are ways to go out and have fun while not having too much in the bank. Otherwise, all those early 20-somethings would not be going out as much as they do. A lot of them are broke, but a lot of them still manage to have fun. If you want to be more social, you don't necessarily have to go out, but you do have to put yourself out there, be it in person or online. That is the hard obstacle that a lot of people do not want to put themselves through. But you do have to put yourself out there. You do have to make yourself somebody that is accessible, because otherwise people will not know to reach out to you. Yes. Next question. TLDR, is it wrong for me to be upset for seeing a band use AI at a concert I didn't pay to go to? Context. Oh, this is interesting. I just went to see a band near and dear to my heart. I was only able to go because my sister got us tickets months in advance. And for the first band, I was having a great time there. Everything was fine. Till my band started playing and were using AI to generate the background and replace themselves on the screens. This completely took me out of it for the rest of the show and just sat in the bathroom stall till the show was over. Am I a buzzkill or asshole? I don't think so. I think that's very valid. I think what I would say is, because this is a case of, like, generative AI, and generative AI in general is just not cool. And if they're, like, big enough an artist to, like, have a concert and have an opening act, they have enough money to not use AI. I would say it's completely valid, because when you're going to, like, your favorite, like, artist's concert, it's a performance, it's a show. They are putting their persona, their brand on the line, and it is their responsibility to try and represent that in a way that best reflects their views. You found out that you don't like their views on AI because clearly they seem okay with it. So I'd say you're perfectly valid for that. One thing I will say is, whether the artist was aware that it was AI, I don't know. It seems like they were. Because, again, this could also be like a matter of, like, I'm thinking, like, the kind of devil's advocate here. Maybe it was, like, the set designers being fucking weird. I don't know. Lots of things to consider. But I'd say your initial disappointment is valid, I would say. Yes. Okay. Ooh, your black box moved. Sorry, chat. There we go. Okay. Next question. What's your secret? Like, you're doing so well. So great with the audios and voice acting. I need advice on how to maintain that grind mentality. Nobody should be fucking like me. Nobody should be like me. I do not have a work-life balance. My work is my life. If you want to be happy, don't look at me as a model for how you should be living. I am happy doing what I do, but I'm also very fortunate to be able to do what I do. And I took it way too far, and now I work myself day in, day out. It's not a way that somebody should live. I am a big workaholic, but if what you're asking is, I can answer this like, if you're talking about how to lock in or how to like have a grind mindset like to like a milder degree than what I do. Like you're only gonna want to do something if you have passion for it. Because otherwise you're just gonna be forcing yourself to do it. So like, I don't know, what I usually do is I get really weird and like, I make to-do lists for everything, and I treat it like a video game. Like, if I can tick off all the things that I have in my to-do list for that day, that's the only way I feel satisfied with what I did. My life is run by my to-do list. I gamified my life. I have a Discord channel where I put all my to-do lists. It's a solo Discord channel with only me in it. And seeing those little green boxes, those little tick boxes, replace the blank empty boxes whenever I get a task done, makes me nut. Yeah. So that's what I do. It helped me a lot. Just treat it like a game. A game with goals that you need to achieve. Next question. Where would I look if I wanted to find a cute, nerdy girl and start getting to know her without interrupting her or coming off as a creep or nuisance? And also, how do I understand women in general? Because I can never tell if y'all are just giving me a compliment when I'm being nice or if y'all are starting to flirt with me. Also, the whole hard to get thing, I don't get it all. I'm so confused, please help. There are lots of questions here, but you know what I'm gonna say? For this question, before I give what I wanna say, chat. What is your answer to this question? How does this man find a cute, nerdy girl and get to know her without being a creep? And also, how does he understand girls? How does this person understand girls? I ask you, Twitch chat. You know everything about girls, Twitch chat. You know exactly what to do. Tier 3 subs to VTubers. No, actually, the secret is a secret Tier 4 sub. You'll only see the Tier 4 sub if you are a chosen one. No, that's stupid. I don't know, as a girl, I'd like to think that I'm pretty blunt and straightforward, and I see things as like kind of like practically. I see things very practically, so I don't really like when people waste my time with a whole like playing hard to get thing or anything like that. Nobody should be playing games with you. They're not somebody that you should see as a prospective partner if they're doing that with you. As for finding a cute, nerdy girl, I don't know. Like, you'll find her. Do something, do an activity where nerds gather. You know, don't be afraid to shoot your shot. Maybe have a cute, nerdy girl friend, like a cute, nerdy girl buddy. you know, maybe try to be a better buddy. And if feelings develop, then that's great. If feelings don't develop, just make sure that she knows that she is still a buddy. You know? I don't know. All I'll say is that my answer to your question is a subversion of your question. If you go into something thinking, okay, I want, like, say, for me example, I want a tall werewolf man that is twice my height and can punt me like a football, I'm already narrowing my options, and I'm already setting myself up for disappointment, because then I just see people as, like, goals, you know? I just see it as, like, a type thing, where, like, they need to meet certain expectations. Maybe focus on, like, whether you actually vibe with somebody. And if they end up being a cute, nerdy girl, great. But open your heart to things, and you'll find that happiness is a lot easier to come across than you realize. Hello. Hello, hello, Builder. Hello, hello. Hello, Alice. Hello, hello. There's a height filter on Tinder if you're that picky. My hot take is that Tinder, like, from what I'm hearing, I've never had a Tinder account, but what I'm hearing about Tinder is that it's basically just a hookup app. Like, you're not supposed to find true love on Tinder. It's for people to, like, hook up, and OnlyFans models to get new customers, and for people to ego scroll, and for the few people that are actually looking for love to be disappointed. Fuck Tinder. Don't be on there. Red or black, or say fuck it and go all in on 27. Go all in! All in, baby. Let's fucking go! But if you had to ask me, if you're not going all in, I'd say red. I'm a little bit biased. Let's go all in! Next question. Any tips for someone new or wanting to get into creating ASMR? I don't have any advice, just do it. Like, if you want to so bad, just do it. And keep doing it. Just do it. I want to be an artist, but I don't know how to get started. I want to be a voice actor, but I don't know how to get started. Just do something. Get yourself a microphone. Learn how to use Audacity, some free digital audio workstation if you don't already have one. Write something out, find a script, and just do it. And that's all there is to it. You either do it or you don't. You either make something or you don't. You either post something or you don't. And I like to say certain things aren't black and white, but that's really just a matter of just do it. You just do the thing. Have fun. How do I get a girl? Is this gonna be? I don't want to turn this into a drinking game and incite people to, like, you know, in any kind of way, but also, like, take a shot every single time somebody says. Take a shot every single time somebody's like, I want a girlfriend. How do I get a girlfriend? How do I get a girl? How do I attract women? Please. I'm sensing a theme to these questions tonight. I will be fair to these people. These are actual advice questions. What I'm trying to see here is, okay. I have to be very careful with how to answer these questions, because this is like a twofold thing. This is how it always goes whenever I answer questions about, like, how to get a girl, how to get a partner or whatever. There's always gonna be, like, half of chat agreeing with what I say, or half of chat being like, no, that doesn't work, I've tried. Like, there's no winning answering this question. There is no winning here. There is no winning. I'm dodging the question. I've already been giving so many answers. You know what? You know how you get a girl? Be somebody worth being in a relationship with. Be Be kind! Take care of yourself! Go outside and realize that the online world is not all there is to life! You can find one online, but you can also find one in person! Don't be a jerk, be nice! Smell nice! Put effort! You'll find somebody as long as you open your fucking heart to the possibility that it could be anybody. Maybe even the people you least expect. Just be, like, just... Oh my god! Smell nice is a huge one. I'm sorry, but if you stanky, then you stanky. Smell nice is huge. Shower. Take care of yourself. Invest in a perfume. Exercise. Eat right. Like, a lot of this is just like having like a lot of introspect. Like, if you wanted me to get like kind of like I guess my hesitancy with answering these questions is I don't want to sound like a fucking pickup artist. But for me, like I think a lot of what it is just like being somebody that's like somebody can be comfortable to be around. Be introspective. You know, self-awareness is something that I think can be taught. Not a lot of people have self-awareness or can pick up social cues well. But my hot take is that I think that being able to pick up on social cues and being able to like be self-aware is something that can be taught. It is something that somebody can learn. Like if you're on the like the autistic spectrum, or if you're like you know you have some kind of like ADHD or whatever like me. It's something that I've had to like develop like I'm not autistic, but like it's something that like when talking to my autistic friends, like they've developed strategies. Like they were like, okay, yeah, no, this doesn't come as naturally to me, but I've developed strategies to try and like get better at picking up social cues. Like it's something that unfortunately like is a matter of like you do have to put work in. 'Cause relationships are a lot of work. You kind of just do have to put work in. And see women as people. That will help you a lot. See women as people. And see them as people that like are partners. Not goals. Not acquisitions. Just treat them like anybody else. And that's all I can say. As a new homeowner, what kind of wood flooring do you recommend? Okay, well shit, I don't know. I recommend the wood flooring that I got when I entered this home. I have carpeted floors, but I believe the, like, ground floor is some kind of... I think it might be engineered. It's engineered, but if I could choose, hardwood is pretty dope. Yeah. Nice question. Having recently moved yourself, what do you think is the best piece of advice for moving that people don't usually tell others? Be organized and be ready for it to take longer than you expect. When I moved, I thought, okay, I'll move all my shit in a day and I'll have nothing else to move. I have been in this house for over a week, nearly 2 weeks, and I still have a shit ton of things to move from my old place. Check the Wi-Fi. Don't be stupid like me and spend several days just like clawing your hair out because the Wi-Fi situation hasn't been figured out. Just figure as much as you can possibly figure out ahead of time. And that way when you move in, you don't have hitches. Especially if you're like working from home. Wait, god damn it! This is supposed to be a joke advice stream. This just ended up being an actual advice stream. God damn it. This is supposed to be funny, but now it's just like genuine life advice. I should have answered, like, to this question, I should have just been like, how do I get a girl? You don't! Women don't exist! Women are fake news! Women are an illusion designed to distract you from real issues, like global warming and Mars invading Earth. I don't know. There we go. Finally, she's speaking the truth. Next question. First of all, thank you for being you. Thank you. My question is, what is the socially acceptable amount to spend in Canada? Because going 100 kilometers on the highway is slow, especially with how big Canada is. I don't really understand what the question is asking. Because the first part of the question is asking me what an appropriate amount to spend is, and then the second one is like about speeds. I'm trying to understand. A socially acceptable amount to spend in Canada? However the fuck you're able to afford and are willing to spend? I don't understand. Like, spend on gas? I don't know. Are they asking if you can speed? Oh, I was like, why spend? Speed, okay. Man, I commuted. I would say, like, just follow the fucking road. I don't want to legally encourage you to speed. Just use your intuition. I don't know what the socially acceptable amount of speed in Canada is. All I'll say is that Canadians are pretty cautious drivers. So you should probably just stick to what the fucking signs are telling you and follow laws. I don't know. My heart is telling me to say to you that you should just speed all the time. But I don't want people getting hurt. So just follow the fucking law, please. Next question. How do I let go of the intangible yet palpable bitterness eating away at the root of my being? Holy shit. Watch Lord of the Rings. That's my answer. Watch Lord of the Rings. That is my unironic answer. Watch Lord of the Rings. Full cuts. Just marathon it. The message that you get from it will make you feel a little bit better about these feelings that you're dealing with. Depression stream, let's go! Let's fucking go! Next question. But seriously, I do hope you start feeling better, buddy. I'm rooting for you. Hi, Allie. Do you have any advice to someone who feels like they're behind in life and are having trouble making the first step? Thank you for your help. That is a good question. What I would say is that nobody, especially in this economy, is really... I mean... A lot of people feel behind. And it's for a lot of reasons that are beyond your control. And I would say, if you feel like you're behind, then stop feeling like you're behind. Realize that everybody around you is on the same page, regardless of how successful they seem. Everybody's dealing with their own set of issues. And you can make your own first step towards what, like, this is genuine advice. Just stop feeling like that. Like, I'm sorry. But what I'm saying here is legit, like, what I phrased it weird, but what I'm saying is that, like, if you're feeling behind, don't feel behind, because you logically are not. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of shit, and it can seem like everybody around you is super successful. And here's something that I asked my mom when I told her that I felt behind and like I wasn't really doing as well as my peers. She was like she has a very frank way of putting it. She was just like, you know, Allie, that guy your age that bought a really nice sports car, he's probably in serious debt because of that. Like, really think about it. How the fuck did he buy that on that salary? He probably went into debt for that. That is a matter of being really showy. If you're talking about feeling like you're behind in life mentally, then unfortunately, I'm not qualified to really give any advice that you should be taking on that. But, like, I guess this is just like a feeling that, like, you know, you're just gonna have to, you're gonna have to wrestle with it a little bit. Eventually, like, and especially with time, if you give yourself time, you'll realize that everybody's on the same playing field. I genuinely think that everybody's gonna be on the same, like, you're gonna realize that everybody's on the same playing field. Like, when I started out making ASMR videos, I would compare myself to other people all the time. And I would always feel like, man, they have a better voice than me. They're better at acting than me. I don't really know what I'm doing here if I'm providing anything that anybody would want to listen to. And now it's my career, you know? So what I would say is, you know, making the first step is gonna be the hardest part of this. But I encourage you to take it anyway. And, you know, make those steps with comparison in the, like, just take comparison out of the entire equation. Just don't compare yourself to others and let yourself have the journey that you're supposed to have. And it'll be okay. Okay, but you have tangible success. Many of us don't. I had to start from somewhere. There's no nepotism for being a moaning anime girl on the internet. I would say, you know, success, like, you can see me as somebody that has a lot of tangible success. There are many days I think I don't, because of the things that I've, like, compromised on to put into Alekirser. Like, work towards what you want, but, you know, just realize that everybody has different priorities and everybody's dealing with their own shit. It's a hard question. This is supposed to be funny! It's supposed to be funny! Give me funny questions! Please be funny! No! No, it's a real Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh my fucking god. Hello, Allie. I, 29 male, have been with my girlfriend, 27 female, for 5 years now, and marriage is something we both see in the future. The problem, however, lies with her parents' approval. I'm gonna read the rest of this, but what I'm thinking is you should ask your girlfriend. This is so Reddit formatted. Okay, her parents are religious and they want her to marry somebody of the same fate. Her siblings aren't as devout. She's not a rebel, but she's into things that might make her parents faint or clutch their pearls. Fun fact, she's a fan of your F4F audios and the reason I became a fan as well. Seriously, you're super cool. Wow, let's go! Okay, I'm just skimming through this. You should follow through on your own terms. Close shop and leave a trail of tears in the aftermath. Here's something that I'm gonna tell you. As somebody that recently had a very long period of falling out with her parents and is still not doing very well with them. Eventually you need to learn how to let go. The reason parents are overprotective is because they want you to be their baby forever. And eventually, you need to realize that you can keep trying to make them happy and make yourself miserable in the process, or you can start living your life and being an adult. You know? And it's hard. It's gonna be hard for them, but you have to realize that, like, you can't control their reactions as much as they can control what you do with your life. Once you become an adult, what you do is your business. Always choose yourself. They're just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it if they want you to stay in their life. That is, it's gonna be so hard. But they're just gonna have to deal with it, and they're just gonna have to realize, like, you know, they can hold a grudge against you and ruin their relationship with you, or they can accept it and keep you in their life. Once you start doing things like this and once you're an adult, all the leverage is with you. And it's up to them to decide whether they're okay with it and whether they're not. And it's gonna hurt if they decide they're not okay with it. But just be ready for that. I'd say go through with it. You're already almost 30. I'm not saying it's old, but you are already almost 30. It's time to let go. You good? I'm not good! This stream turned out being serious! Listen, she's not saying you're old, but your life is basically over at 30. So fucking true. This ended up being like a genuine advice stream. This is supposed to be funny. I was supposed to give you, like, unethical life advice. Next question. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, dear Auntie Allie, long-time viewer, first-time caller. My family has a history of overindulging in some vices. In this case, alcohol. I remember my dad coming home and having a few beers every day after work, and I'm starting to do the same thing. I'm worried about it escalating because it's hard. I thought this was gonna be funny. But no, it's somebody struggling because they're becoming exactly like their father. The question didn't end up funny. I thought it would be funny because it's formatted like a meme. Okay. I would say, you know, put the beers away and develop a system that rewards you for every time you don't drink and punishes you for every time you do drink. Sometimes you just gotta train yourself like a fucking dog. If you find yourself reaching for the beer bottle, you know, have a freaking rubber band on your wrist that you just, like, snap. Associate it with a bad feeling. And whenever you have, like, water, I don't know, put, like, a freaking dime in a jar or something. Call it your, like, fuck yeah, I'm not drinking beer jar. And at the end of the year, see how much money you saved. I don't know. This was supposed to be funny. Also, think about it this way. Think about my disappointed face every time you reach for a bottle. Think about me going, Think about me being so disappointed. Yeah. Next question. Is it better to date really good friends you've known for a long time or otherwise? If they feel the same way? Does this count as a how do I get a girl question? Does this count? My thoughts are like, it's very, very contextual. Like, if you've just been homies with somebody and there's been no, like, kind of romantic subtext whatsoever, and you're just like, you know, we've been friends for long enough, let's just date, then that's your own fucking business. But I would advise against it, you know? But if you like each other then like that, then yes. Like, I don't have enough context to answer this question. I mean, a girl who was good friends with him, so kinda. I mean, if there are feelings. My hot take is you should get into a relationship with somebody that also, like, feels similarly about you. Don't just make an arrangement with one of your friends where... although I will say this. If one of your friends is like, haha, if we're single at 40, we should just get married. Then, like, you know, I don't know, maybe ask them, like, you know, what do you mean by that? Because I know a bunch of friends that are like that. I have 2 friends that I'm willing to bet are just like, nothing's gonna fucking happen. It would take like a fucking zombie apocalypse and one of them like having like a really dramatic death scene bleeding out on the snow for one of them to actually admit their feelings. But they basically have a situation like that, where they're like, haha, if we're 40, we can just get married if we're both single by then. Like, I don't know. Pro tip, date people who like you. A situationship? That word should be banned from my chat. Your Zoomerisms will not affect me. That's me blowing them away. Next question. Lately, I feel like I've been going backwards or staying in the same place while everyone is moving in their lives. I don't know if a failure for not achieving anything or just making unfair comparisons. Okay, so this is very similar to the other question that I answered, so I'd advise you to just go back to my answer for that, because that was a pretty lengthy question. But, TLDR, you know, you kind of answered your question here. If you feel like you might be making unfair comparisons, you very well may be. So think of this as like your first thing that you have to overcome. Next question. I have this weird thing in my closet and I won't leave my house unless I have it I have this weird thing in my closet and it won't leave my house until I give it some pizza. What in the wiggly wiggle goose goose should I do? Okay, so I know I asked for silly questions. So you know what? I'm grateful for this. It's no longer a depression stream. We're so fucking back. Okay, here. Maybe you should just give in to your goose overlord. You don't own that house anymore. The goose just lets you live in it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open that fucking closet and you're gonna be like, what kind of pizza do you want? You don't ask them why, you don't ask them how, you just ask, what pizza do you want? And you deliver. That's it. And the correct answer to that is pepperoni. Fucking love pepperoni. Next question. Joke question. Would it be okay for us to start calling you Alekirser? Would you prefer Ali? I don't want either of those. I don't want you to revere me as some kind of big sister figure. I have been paid to babysit kids before, and it is not a situation I want to put myself through ever again. I don't want to be an older sister figure. Please don't call me that. Just call me Ali. Call me Ali. Oh my god. No Oni-san. No titas. No, especially not grandma. Just call me Ali. I am Ali. Real question. As somebody who's about to start university and has not made a new friend since their first year of high school, how do you form new friendships, relationships as an adult? Also, some general networking advice would be good, considering I've never had a job in my life. So I don't know how much I can help you with the job advice, but it kind of is networking really is going to be like, at least what I did and how I got my internships was going to fucking career fairs in my university. The good thing about university, and the way that I want you to start seeing it, is university, when people are starting out, all the first years are in the exact same boat as you. Everybody's in a new environment and everybody's trying to make friends. When you join university, unless you actively go out of your way to isolate yourself, it's going to be very hard to not talk to at least one new person. So, join a club. That'll help you a lot. Join a club. University is built to give you as many socialization opportunities as possible. Join a club. Do something new. You will be fine. Job advice, nepotism. Exactly. I'm like, how the fuck do I give networking advice? I have no idea how to say anything without saying, It's about the people you know. It only gets harder. Abandon all hope. Welcome to the big boy world. Yeah, I don't know, make friends in your hobbies. Join a club. Have fun. Don't be like me. I used university to become Alekirser. I love my job! I promise, I love my job. Next question. What was your pipeline into voice acting? What would you recommend for someone first getting into it? I just did it. If you want my actual thing, like my actual spiel, I started doing voice acting when I was very little. I would go online, I would go on websites like Casting Call Club or Tumblr back then. I'd join Discord servers or Skype groups and stuff like that before Discord was a thing. And I would just I just publish content. I'd take roles if I got offered any. I just did things to get experience and get better. I took acting classes in real life. Just a lot of different opportunities. My path was very boring. I didn't really do anything special. I just voiced stuff. And little by little over time, I upgraded all my stuff. Like the vast majority of my equipment upgrades happened in the past, 3 years or so. But before that, my first voiceovers were on my, the microphone on Apple, earbuds. I used to do that. It was so bad. Back when I was, really young. It was pretty funny. Yeah, just do stuff. Just do stuff. Next question. How do I know you're not in my walls? Used TLM 103s are pretty cheap on eBay. I'm not even gonna go that far. It's not about, if you want me to nerd out about mics and equipment, you can make a Blue Yeti sound fucking incredible. You can make an AT2020 sound fucking incredible. And you can make a Neumann U87 sound like absolute crap. It's all about the room that you're using. It's all about, how quiet the space you're in is, and, reflections and all sorts of shit. Really, the microphone is one of the least important parts of the equation, unless you're literally recording on, a toaster oven. That's what I would say. And here's a good thing. If you're letting your microphone prevent you from doing voice acting, you probably don't like voice acting as much as you want. As much as you think you do. I wrote fanfiction on a Nintendo DS because I loved fanfiction so much. I did voice acting on my fucking phone. If you wanna do something, you'll make do with what you fucking have. How do I know you're not in my walls? You don't. Just make sure to lock your bedroom door at night. Next question. Hi, Allie. Let's say you hypothetically went to the nearest department store near you and you liberated the entire stock of Squishmallows. And now you have a large collection of plushies, but not quite enough room in your house to keep them all. Where would be the next place you'd look to keep them? I would probably put them in front of my house. I would make an entire ring of Squishmallows just surrounding my house. I'd have a little wall, a little Squishmallow army surrounding my house. Are they edible? Squishmallows are they're really soft plushies. You should not try to eat them. They're friends, not food. That's probably what I would do. Great question. Thank you. We are no longer depression stream. Let's go. Next question. Hello, Tita Ali. Don't call me that! Big fan of yours for a long time. I have a question for someone who's been able to actively stay on top of several hyperfixations and niche hobby communities. Is that me? Am I the person that can stay on top of my hyperfixation and hobbies? How do you cope with realizing that something you used to enjoy no longer sparks joy in your life? Oh my god! Never mind! We're back to depressing stuff. But my real answer to this, you know, you might, yeah, no, this is unironically a depression stream. You may want to contact a professional about that. Sometimes, you know, if I were to use an analogy, actually no, I'm not gonna use that analogy. I was gonna make a really weird reference to a hentai that I watched. So I'm not gonna do that. You know, all I'm gonna say is I hope you find joy in the little things and take every day one step at a time. It'll be okay. Next question. How do I get my first girlfriend? Take a shot, chat. Take a shot. We got another one of these. How do I get my first girlfriend? I've already answered this so many times. Chat. Take a shower. Take a shower. Meet the prospective girlfriend doing what you like and treat her like a human being. Be friends first and take a shower and take a shower and take a shower and take a shower. And take a shower. What kind of mustache is most suitable for a funeral? I'd say handlebar. You want to give something people remember. That isn't the sadness. How do I get back with my talking stage? I don't know if she sees me as another person or a friend, or should I get a truck or a Cadillac CT4 2018? Run? I don't want to answer this question, so I'm just gonna focus on the second one. I think you should get a truck. You should get a truck. Because of the incredible grammar that this question was written with. I'm assuming that your question is, should I get a truck or should I get a girlfriend? And my answer is get a truck. I got $100. Do I invest in the stock market or buy Gunpla? And the sparkles. I think you should get Gunpla. My advice for the stock market: buy high, sell low. Let's go. Ha ha ha. Next question. How do I meet new people? I want to find a girlfriend, but woohoo! Take a shower, be a nice person, and it's the next question. Should I give money to my sister since her husband got hurt and can't work even though she owes me money? I mean, is your sister nice to you, and are you financially capable of, you know, are you in a financial place where you can do that? Answer those questions, and my answer will very much change. I don't know. She already owes you money, but at the same time, like, if you love her and she's generally nice and hasn't been able to pay it back because, well, her husband's out of commission, then I'd say it depends on how nice you're willing to be. Assuming that they're nice, I'd say sure. Assuming they're not nice, I don't know, that's up to you, buddy. I cannot be held liable for the outcome of any of the advice that I give on this stream. I've been really tired lately, and you said your mind doesn't stay negative for too long. So I'm gonna ask you, how do you make it through bad or tough days, even when they start out bad? Good question. I would say it helped me a lot when I started realizing that days can happen and like whether a day is bad or not is not determined by one event, for the most part. Like, it's really easy to doom. But there are like little victories that you can have, even when you have like an objectively shitty day. And separating your day into like segments is a good thing, because I've absolutely had a lot of roller coaster days lately, where it'll start really bad, or it'll start really good, and it'll completely change by the end of the day. Keep an open mind. Your day may get better, your day may get worse, but don't let one thing determine whether you have a bad day or not. Next question. Should I use my 529 to get a Steam Deck? My friend uses one for robotics, so big maybe I could write it off. Your 529? For a Steam Deck? Hold on, this is gonna be an American thing. I know know what a 401k is. Wait, 529 tax account. Wait, your college savings, like your 529 is your like the college savings plan that you set up for yourself, for your future kids, or your 529 that your parents set up for you? Or is 529 like the amount of money that you have in the bank account? Cause like, when you're saying 529, is it like a retirement plan? Like the 529 education saving retirement plan? Or are you saying like I have $529 that I could use to get a Steam Deck? If it's the latter, sure, why not? But also consider like maybe don't get a Steam Deck. Maybe build your savings up a little bit more. Don't use your savings for that. How badly do you even need one? I doubt you need one very badly. Don't do it. Set up a Steam Deck fund, but don't take money from your fucking savings for that. Your fucking education savings. Also, I don't think you can use that. Like, yeah, no, that's how it works in Canada. Is like when you set up a certain account for like saving up for a house or something like that, you can't spend it unless you're like spending it on like education. Like the original intent of the account. Just don't do it. Either way, my answer is don't do it. Next question. Does jacking off to Skibbity Toilet make the voices louder or no? Jarvis, throw it back a little. Next question. Okay. Let's go. One advice for me and one advice for you. Number 1, I've lately been writing out lore for an OC that I'm making. I'm struggling with how to make his dialogue feel poetic and have gravitas. Any tips? Okay. And bad advice is held to a higher regard. What do you guys think? How to make his dialogue feel poetic. Like, make him sound like a big fucking nerd. My bad advice, use ChatGPT. My good advice, just make him sound like... Use long words that you don't know. Don't be afraid to make him sound like stupid and like really pretentious. Because anybody who speaks poetically is going to sound really pretentious. Make him use really long words. Especially if you're thinking, like, think of one word that you know, but you don't actually know the meaning of. Make him use that. Then the second piece is a bit of advice for me. Okay. If you haven't been doing okay and you've been hiding it, just know this, Allie, it's okay to not be okay and to not have everything figured out. To still have everything in a mess despite everything seeming clear. You should try to take some time off and enjoy life the way it is. We will make mistakes every now and then and have good days and bad days, and that's fine. And I say we because we all make mistakes and have ups and downs. That's just life. But what's important is that you get up even after all the pain and trouble. Because not giving up despite not having a clear plan is stronger than you can ever imagine. Thank you. Thank you. Very true. Thank you, Leocentum. Next question. Dear boss, how do I fix my sleep schedule? I get tired, but for some reason I get super active and start watching streams and lose this tiredness around 8 to 9 p.m. EST. Then I end up falling asleep around 3 to 4 a.m. and only get like 2 to 3 more hours of sleep on a weekday. It's gonna be a matter of conditioning yourself. You're gonna end up having to like just put your screens in another room. Don't put, like, if your problem is you're having a hard time going to sleep because you're watching streams, it may be time to like put your shit in another fucking room. Don't have phones in the room. Don't have laptops in the room. Put it all away. A stream at 9 p.m. EST? It's my fault. Become a VOD watcher, please. I don't want people ruining their sleep and having worse work days because of me. That makes me feel really bad. I will ban you. Give me your username. I will ban you because I want you to have better sleep. Wait, no, but banning people doesn't prevent them from watching your stream. Anyway, next question. What would you say has been the biggest thing to help you grow as a streamer? My advice for anybody starting as a streamer is, like, it's very hard to grow from zero. It is very hard to grow from zero. Watch Ludwig's recent stream where he tried to grow a channel from zero, and he'll show exactly how hard it is. I didn't start with zero, so I am very, very, like, much not the type of person that can give you this advice. I already had an audience when I started streaming, and really, if you're trying to build an audience based on just streaming, it's gonna be hard. What you're gonna wanna do is put out content that, and like, have your audience come from the content that you produce. They can be clips of your gameplay, they can be like separate things that you record and work on, but like growing as a streamer from zero and only streaming, it's not gonna get you anywhere. It's hard. It's hard. Really hard. You can make streamer friends, but here's the thing, like, if your goal is to grow and be big, then you're gonna have to look at it very differently. If your goal is to have fun, then, you know, make your streamer friends, tune into each other's streams and have a good time. But, like, if you want to make streaming like your career, and if you want it to be something that really grows really big, you're not gonna be able to do that if you're, like, relying on other people to, like, watch your stream. You need to have people that are willing to come to your stream and to attend your stream. Sorry, I can't use certain words. But, like, yeah, no, make content first. Make content. You're not gonna grow as a streamer with zero unless you make content that, like, gets people's attention and makes them want to watch your stream. Next question! Does it ever get better? It does! Because we are so back. 50. Dear Dragon, what is your opinion on male nipples? I don't have particularly hard or large nipples, but for the longest time I've been conscious of the fact that my nipples are visible through my shirts. Is being squicked out by visible male nipples a thing? Am I overthinking it? And should I just let them fly free? Regards, Cold in Calgary. I think the cold might be a problem. Maybe we're like an undershirt or something. Kind of proud. Well, if it's time to wrap it up, this is a good stream. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'd say, like, just let them fly free, get an undershirt, wear like a jacket, something that isn't thin enough for like them to like seep through. I don't fucking know. Nipple stain. Thanks for the 3 months, Love Island. Thank you. I don't know, like, do you want this guy to get paid? I didn't want to say it. Next question. How do I get in a harem IRL as an unemployed? Your priorities concern me. Get a Next question. Can we go out, please? 6'2", by the way. You remember the chatter that was like, this is probably your worst idea yet? That's so true. This is the worst idea yet. This is not advice. This is not boyfriend applications. That stream was like several months ago. What a terrible idea. Who the fuck greenlit this? Stares at myself. Next question. Dear Scentplay Salamander. Is that my name now? Scentplay Salamander? Dear Scentplay Salamander. How do you know if you smell bad? I shower daily, but I'm never really certain if I actually smell good. Do I just go up to someone and ask? Do you have a friend or family member that you can trust to be completely honest with you? Because if you're showering daily and you're doing everything you need to do, you know, then like, maybe, yeah, no, you could go up to someone and be like, be honest with me. Go up to a trusted friend and be like, be honest with me. Do I smell? And just assume no, and be really, 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 like, hyperfixative with your scent. Don't walk up to, yeah, no, walk up to a stranger and be like, can you smell me? Yeah, no, just be on top of things, man. Then ask a trusted friend or family member. Hi, Allie. I can't think of anything right now, so mystery advice time. Give me some random advice on something random. Okay, I like washing my dishes while I cook. I find it saves me a lot of time, and I'm a busy girl. So maybe clean as you go. It's pretty good advice. Otherwise, your dishes end up stacking in this sink and you feel bad. Yeah, you should clean as you go. Like me. Any advice in completing World 1-1 in Super Mario Bros? Just get good. Just get good. Yeah. Use the jump button and jump at the correct time. And that way, you will surmount all of the obstacles and make it to the next round. Next question. What weapons and stratagems do you recommend bringing to the bot front in Helldivers? My answer to that question, as somebody who likes Helldivers a lot but is really bad at it and hasn't played it in a while, you should don't focus too much on your weapons and stratagems. Instead, focus on playing with people that know what they're doing and be the friend that gets carried. Yeah, be me. Be the friend that gets carried. Wahoo hoo 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 hoo. Next question. Now that I've gotten a new table for my PC setup, I'm saving up to get a new monitor. The model that I'm looking at is a 32-inch curved 4K monitor, and I should have enough saved up to get it with my next paycheck. But if I hold off another 2 weeks, I can get a model with the same specs, but an OLED screen. I'm not sure if the OLED monitor is actually better or if it's just a marketing gimmick like ray tracing. Do you think it's worth holding off and saving for the OLED model, or should I just get the one that I already picked out? I don't know, chat. What do you think? I'd say I don't know. How much more money does it cost to get that one? Because like my first instinct is like, you know, I would say I do notice a bit of a difference. If you see, like, it's a matter of like opportunity cost. Like, are you willing to forego another thing you could have bought with that money for upgrading, like, just that little bit? That's a question that, you have to answer. Are you willing to put whatever money you could have spent on something else towards that OLED monitor? I think OLED is bad if you're doing productivity stuff because burn-in, but IDK. Yeah, that is what you're using it for. Get it, then return it, then get the new one. Spend your money on Alekirser subs. Okay, Cuddle Kitten. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say, sure, you can go for it, but, like, make a pro-con list. My 291 male high elf parents, 599 female, and 604 male high elf don't like my girlfriend, 434 female wood elf. At first, I thought it was because they thought she was too old for me, but it turns out it's because they think wood elves are all hippie stoner peasants who sit around high all day talking about flowers. Well, I don't know about you, but before I read the rest of this question, I think your wood elf girlfriend, if she is just like a giga stoner who sits around and gets high all day talking about flowers, sounds like a great time. Sounds like a great time. I think you should listen to your wood elf girlfriend. You should go get high with her and talk about flowers and have romantic mating press sex underneath the full moon. Yeah. Let me read the rest of this question. I'm not gonna pretend my girlfriend doesn't do weed. She is in fact very high as I write this, but I think what my parents said is extremely offensive. It is. My girlfriend has been putting out signals that she wants me to move into her tree fort with her, and I'm thinking maybe this is the push I needed to take that step. What do you think? Well, it sounds like you've answered your question. You should move in with her. Love your wood elf waifu, man. Sounds like you're winning in life, dude. Move in, get high, and then roll around in the fields next to the tree fort and have mating press underneath the full moon. Congratulations. I just secured your bloodline for the next 6 centuries. You're gonna make so many elf babies. Next question. It's my birthday today, yay! What should I get myself? Oh shit, that was 2 days ago. Happy belated birthday! And also, you should get yourself something nice to eat. Next question. Ultrasound with heart specialty or x-ray technician? For what? I don't know how to answer this question. My answer is... don't ask me, bro! Like, whichever job you'll hate less, I guess? I don't know. Whichever job you'll hate less. I feel like these are kind of really different things. Whichever job you'll hate less is the one you should go for. Next question. How buy wife? Well, my tulpa cuddle kitten, she's a bit of a money-hungry girl. She says her starting rate is like $1 more billion, so I'd say get $1 more billion and you can buy her. Easy peasy. Next question. How to get a hot dragon wife? I don't know, chat. How would you answer this question? You shower first, you stack piles of gold. What do you think, chat? Be like Donkey from Shrek. That is a great piece of advice. I would say be nice. Smell nice. Maybe be a werewolf. Compliment her horns. Being a werewolf is really, really, really big, by the way. Whenever she rants about her hyperfixations, pretend to be interested in them. Please put the effort to pretend to be interested in them. Maybe cook her something nice every once in a while. And be good at sex. Next question. How would you get a small cylinder 5.1 inches in length, 4.5 inches in girth, unstuck from a mini M&M tube filled with butter and microwaved mashed banana? Asking for a friend. I don't like this question. I don't like this question. Why is the detailed? I'm gonna give you several pieces of advice. First of all, mini M&M tube filled with butter and microwaved mashed banana. It doesn't feel like butter or microwaved mashed banana. How would you get it unstuck? Consider it natural selection, buddy. You are toast. The world is telling you, do not spread your seed. Next question. How would you... What? It's the same question, okay. They just really wanted to make sure that it went through. How would you get a small cylinder unstuck from a mini M&M tube? It is imperative that the small cylinder remain unharmed. Well, tough luck, buddy. Next question. Do you like aviation? I do. Flight is freaking cool. I'm a little biased, but where's my wings? Where are my wings? I was gonna do something cool and then be like, I know a thing or two about aviation. But yay, I do. Okay, we're all good. All right, next question. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep these on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep these on. Next question. Okay, so I bought this thing on Amazon the other day. I mean, the only reason I'm asking this is because I saw the Twitter post and it made me reflect on this purchase that I made on Amazon the other day. I bought 300 Chinese finger traps from Jining, China. And I may have done something with the finger traps that I'm not too proud. Again? Listen. It doesn't feel like microwaved mashed banana and butter, and it definitely doesn't feel like Chinese finger traps from Jining, China. Get a fucking fleshlight or something. Oh my god. I stuck my schmeat into one of the finger traps. I'm not too happy about it. It's actually still stuck. I'm in a bit of a pickle, actually, because I'd like to get it off, but all my fingers are stuck in them too. I had to type this with my nose because I can't get my fingers out. Much less my pride and glory. Once again, natural selection. Remember what I said to that guy who got his thing stuck in the M&M tube? Natural selection. Next question. Yo, I just wanted to say nice stream so far. Really? And I was wondering if I should pursue the path of competitive gamer, aka Esports. No. No. I feel so bad because this was asked in earnest. Like, this is definitely like a person that is asking this earnestly, and I'm just like, no. I was like, no. Do not follow your dream. Actually, no. Here. First of all, have a job and do the esports on the side. If it takes off, quit your job. But also make sure, have the precautions, have your safety nets. Take the leap after you've made some results. Have a job first. Next question. What's something you wish you knew before getting into your first relationship? Take another shot. Well, getting into a relationship with my mental health issues was very difficult. I wish I knew that they would be very annoying. But, sometimes you just gotta stick through the annoying stuff. Because that's what it is 99% of the time. Thanks for the hydrate. Next question. This is question number 69. Should I finish crocheting my lace cardigan or continue crocheting my blanket? You should finish it. It sounds like something you can do both of. Yeah. I think you should finish the lace cardigan and see whether you can continue crocheting your blanket, but... Because if you continue crocheting your blanket but you don't have enough material, you just end up with two unfinished things. An unfinished cardigan and an unfinished blanket. Just finish the cardigan first, and then continue crocheting the blanket if you still can. I don't know. Next question. How do you get rid of the wink wink thoughts when in public? I don't know if it's different for guys. I don't have... I don't know, but like that's just not how it works for me. Like, you know, you just wink really hard and the thoughts go away. I don't know. Feels like this second how do I not be horny question. I don't know. You just don't. You just accept that you're a big freaking pervert and that I, big pervert on the internet, think you're even pervier than me. And I'm pointing at you right now, and I'm laughing at you. Haha, look at this guy. He can't get rid of the wink wink thoughts in public. What a flippin' dork. Haha. Ha 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 ha. Just embrace it. I don't know. Like, be respectful, but also if you're thinking it, like, as long as it stays in your head and you're not being weird. Is it harming anybody? I don't know. What if I'm into that? Being pointed and laughed at? Well, that sounds like another question that you should have submitted in Ally Advice. How the heck do I win a wrestling match against my pillow? You just don't. You accept your fate. The pillow always wins. Next question. I have no idea how my new introverted self is going to make a... I need to start categorizing these questions. Because, like, a lot of these are very, very similar. How do I make friends? You're gonna have to get on top of a lot of things. You're gonna have to prioritize. You're gonna have to decide what your priorities are. Like... Whenever this VOD gets posted, I hope the most commonly asked questions get pointed to the same timestamp where I gave my earnest answer. Because there are so many methods. You can get adopted by an extrovert, like me. That's how I made friends. You can put yourself out there. Decide what your priorities are. Many different options. It's not their fault, for sure. It's just funny that, like... everybody's struggling to make friends, but everybody's having a hard time. Everybody's having a hard time making friends because it makes you want to go, well, shit, if everybody's having a hard time making friends, let's all just be friends with each other. All the people that are having a hard time making friends should just be friends with each other. Yeah. You should meet up with the other guys or gals that are having a hard time making friends, and you should all be friends together. I think I just solved loneliness. Woohoo! Next question. How do I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? This is going to shock you. But you take peanut butter, you take jelly, you put it together on a sandwich, or like on pieces of bread, and then you chuck it at your enemies. You just chuck it right at your enemies. Then you'll become known as the peanut butter and jelly sandwich wrangler of the neighborhood. They'll institutionalize you, put you in a white room filled with rats, rubber rats. And you're gonna think, man, I really used my question on this. And all you can do in that white rubber room filled with rats, rubber rats, is hope that they have enough peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to spare for you in the psych ward cafeteria. Next question. How do I stay single when I latch onto positive attention like a face hugger? This sounds like the protagonist of one of those games that we played, the I Just Want to Be Single game. How do I stay single? You just have so many options. Well, the good thing about relationships is that both people have to consent to being in it. Once one person doesn't want to be in it, it's not a relationship. Take an anti-shot for this question. Not according to some of those audios. Well, that's true. I'm not really doing a very good job of, like, showing that with all the fucking yandere audios I put out. Oh, is that how it works? Shit, is that how it works? I'm supposed to be able to have a say in whether I'm in a relationship or not? Well, I guess I gotta tell that to the girl that's locked me in her basement for the past several months. Unfortunate. Thanks for the hydrate. Next question. What should I have for dinner? You should have a burger. You should have a burger for dinner. Have a burger. Next question. How do you get yourself to do things when you don't have the motivation to do anything? It helps when it's your job and you have no option but to do it. So that's kind of how I do it. I motivate myself to do things by telling myself if I don't get this done, I'm gonna hate myself a lot more for it than if I just, you know, pull myself up and just deal with the thing. That's all a lot of jobs are, is doing things you don't really want to do. So I just treat a lot of things like they're just jobs. I have to do it even if I don't want to do it. Yeah, do it when you're unmotivated. Telling yourself now or never helps. I think the one thing is, like, I am a little crazy. And I have a lot of anxiety. So when I can't get something done, my brain immediately goes, it's so over. Feel sad because you didn't get to do that thing you were supposed to do today. So I guess that's the reason I don't really struggle with this very much. I'm just like, no, it's so over. But if you want to be so back, you kind of just gotta lock in and do it. I usually just think no one else is gonna do it and then do it. Yeah, that's probably healthier. I really shouldn't. Why am I giving advice? I'm like the worst possible person to give advice to most of you who let this happen. Next question. How fast could you run 400 meters and why is it slower than 10 minutes? Bold of you to assume that it's slower than 10 minutes? 'Cause it's not. It's closer to half of that. I don't run 400 meters slower than 10 minutes. I did track in high school. Next question. In the 2006 Disney Pixar movie Cars, there is much evidence that points to there being humans at some point in that universe. So my question is, what happened to the humans in Cars? They became the cars! Are we gonna have to pull out the Pixar theory again about how, like, there's a timeline for these things for sure. There's a timeline. Is Wall-E at the end point of that timeline? I have no idea. I'm not a big Pixar nerd like I used to be, but there's like a timeline for this that connects all the Pixar movies together, and it's like, okay, at some point, all of the humans became tubbies in space and left the world to rot and be run by robots. I don't know where Cars fits into that, but like, toss that whole theory aside. My theory is that the humans themselves became the cars. I mean, why else would the cars in Cars have eyes and tongues? Why do you think cars can have babies? Regular cars can't do that. You don't have a mommy car and a daddy car boing boing all night and popping out a baby. That's just not how it happens. I kind of actually really like how they do it in Robots, that movie from like the early 2000s. Whenever robot parents want to have a baby, they just order a baby online and then they like put it together. And that's making a baby, is they literally just put it together. Like they assemble it. It's really wholesome. I love that movie. Robots is awesome. Do you think that cars can eat car-themed pizza? Well, they got them freaky tongues and them freaky, like, you know, them freaky teeth and stuff. I don't know. This is a great question. This is a great question. Thank you for this question. Next question. I'm 22 and I have a horrible relationship with my family. And I mean all my family. I don't have friends. I don't like pets. I've gone to mingle events. Is it a me problem because I've been told I'm kind of gloomy and not fun to be around? My therapist just tells me that as long as I keep going out there, I'll meet people. But I've been trying for about a year now and I've gotten nothing. Okay, we're back to depression stream. I will say, there's not a lot I can say here. There's not a lot I can tell you here. But, I applaud you for going to therapy. Maybe look at if it's within your reach. Finding a more empathetic therapist, you know? You know, I see you. I don't know how to answer your question but without knowing you very well, but all I'll say is I see you. I see your struggle. You got this, you know? Strive to be... This is a stupid thing my dad says. Strive to be 1% better every day. Make little improvements. Whether it be to your mental... things you're working towards. Strive to be 1% better every day. Doesn't have to be a whole leap and bounds. Just strive to be at least like just 1% better every day. Next question. You inspired me to start making my own ASMR content and it's been really fun. Do you have any general tips for improvement or do's or don'ts that you don't have learned over the years? Thank you. Great question. I can give you a whole list of things. One of my pieces of advice that I'll give you right now is when it comes to writing the scripts themselves. I hate this in ASMR. I hate when people just repeat what the listener is supposed to say. It sounds really, really unnatural when they're like having a conversation. Let's say I'm the speaker. Let's go for ice cream. Wait, you don't want to go for ice cream? Why? Oh, because it's too cold and you're scared that if you have ice cream, you'll have a brain freeze? It sounds unnatural. Treat it like a one-sided conversation, but don't fill in the gaps by repeating what the listener is quote-unquote supposed to say. It sounds stupid. It takes me out of it so easy. It's gross. Don't do that. Another thing, don't focus so much on making your voice sound nice if that's like an issue that you have. Have fun with the actual acting. Because nobody sounds like a mommy-dommy ASMR role player all the time. Nobody just talks like this all the time. Like, I hate that so much! Don't do that! Nobody talks like that! Nobody fucking talks like that! I hate it! It's the worst! Nobody talks like that! I just did? Well, I don't talk like that! I hate it. Yes. This became a question where I just air my grievances. But also don't take my advice, because I have a lot of things that I personally need to improve on. I'm still working on making shit sound natural. I'm still working on not sounding like Teemo from League of Legends or Morgana from Persona 5. Just have fun with it. Justified Alley crash out. The number of times I will go on YouTube and I'll be like, okay, AI generated thumbnail with 300,000 views, and it's some random chick that sounds like nom nom nom. Like there's a certain way that they speak, and it makes me want to. I can't. I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm gonna turn on my lights. It got really dark in here. Woohoo! Focus on sounding natural. Focus on my toxic streamer. I'm sorry, but they're never gonna improve or get better unless I tell them that they should stop doing that. It sounds weird. It sounds weird. You can sound like a dommy mommy, but like, if you just sound like you're constantly trying to seduce someone, or like you're like actively having to push yourself to sound like that, maybe consider that sounding a little bit more natural will actually help the quality of your audio in the long run. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a deep voice. A lot of people tend to prefer women that have deep voices. I don't like a good deep voice. But like, you don't have to force yourself to sound like the prototypical mommy. It just sounds weird. It sounds weird. Next question. Before I lose another vein. Okay. Again, I'm reading this right now, and I will say that I see you. I wish I could give you more advice. Unfortunately, there's only so much I can do when I'm reading text on a screen and I am an anime girl on the internet. But I do hope that it gets better. You are seen. And if you needed to hear more comprehensive advice, I do give some more earlier in the stream. You will be okay. I promise. Sending virtual hugs. Everybody send this guy virtual hugs in the chat right now, chat. Send virtual hugs right now. Maybe have these screen next time. This is already after the screen, the initial screening. I do think it's necessary to show at least some of these to show that, like, you know, some people really are going through it and that a lot of people in this community tend to be going through it. I think it has its place. I'm not too mad about it. I think it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for the hugs, chat. How do I become a dragon girl? Do I have to move to Canada or live in a cave? Or is it both? So it's funny, but like, dragon girls, at least according to my lore, they're birthed on a planet very far away from Earth. Dragon girls are born when a dragon and another dragon love each other very much. Dragon girls are aliens, so you're not gonna become a dragon girl by moving to Canada or living in a cave. Those are just matters of circumstance. Neither. Next question. How do I be more confident talking to people? I hope you can tell me, because that is a good question. I'm not a very confident person. I am very not chill. That's a great way to put it. It is a muscle that you have to practice. I kind of bounce between having the ego of God and feeling like a speck of dirt on my tiled floor. So, catch me when I'm feeling like God, and I'll give you the best hype you'll ever experience in your life. Right now I'm kind of just okay. So, I'd say, it is a muscle that you have to practice, something that you'll have to work at. You're just gonna have to practice it by putting yourself in situations where you have to talk to people. And develop it that way. Like me working customer service jobs and becoming a secretary, receptionist, all these, doctor, lawyer, teacher, astronaut, Allison's here. Basically putting myself in forward-facing position. I'm not telling you to work retail, but I'm just saying that, surrounding myself with people and making it obligatory to have to talk to people for my job helped me a lot. Saying hi in the elevator, being a nice neighbor, Yeah, little things. What fictional or non-fictional place would you like to live? Not advice, but good question. I recently finished playing, I've recently been playing Valhalla, and it's one of those places where I'd love to live there, even though I know it's not good. I just like cyberpunk themes and scenarios. Thanks for the 29 months, GSB. Thank you. The thing is, most of the media that I consume occurs in worlds that I would never want to live in. I love Alien Stage, but the whole premise of Alien Stage is that nobody wants to fucking be in that situation. So no, I don't want to be in Alien Stage. Would I want to live in Night City? Maybe. And now it's time for you to answer this question, chat. Where would you want to live if you were in a fictional city? Thanks for the 29 months, GSV. Thank you. You prefer the cyberpunk world from Ghost in the Shell? I love Ghost in the Shell. Holy crap. Talk about something I love. Rune Factory towns are also a good example of a nice fictional place to live. For sure. Whatever they got going on in regular show, Pokemon World. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Pokemon. That's great. These are great. Redwall, the Redwall series, Star Wars universe. Am I simple-brained? No. I guess it depends what planet you want to live on. Somewhere nice. Animal Crossing, Star Trek. Interesting places. Yes. Next question. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. How do you do groceries? What do I buy? I know veggies and such, but I forget I still have some in the fridge and then they go bad. So, wait, this is actually a good question. This is a good question to ask. Because I'm assuming that you are a college student, or that you are somebody that is recently starting to buy groceries for themselves. Plan stuff. What I do every week is I sit down, I take out my little planner, and I make a menu for the things that I want to buy. I go to the grocery store pretty regularly. So what I do is I make a plan for the meals that I want to eat, and then I check what I have, and then I fill in the gaps. And if I can't afford something, then you just see whether or not you actually need it, or you just change your plan. You just plan. Plan what you want to eat. Stop buying veggies, they taste bad and they're not worth it. Not true. I fucking love vegetables. I could easily go vegetarian just because of tofu. Tofu stir fry with some veggies. Mwah. Yeah. So don't just buy things because you think they look good. Think of like what you would actually cook them in. That way you save money. Next question. Do you have any advice for a male yearner? You're a rare breed. Keep yearning, buddy, but also don't do what other male yearners do. And don't, go outside. Don't try to get a girlfriend on Valorant. And just be like a regular fucking functional human being. The Zoomers found my form. Next question. Which of these useless superpowers would you rather have? Not an advice question, but it is fun. Be able to teleport but only 1 inch with a 1 minute cooldown. Or shoot lasers from your eyes, but they're just laser pointer lasers. The second one is funny. The idea that I could shoot lasers from my eyes, but they're just like lasers that like my cat would chase. I would say the first one, practically, because think about it this way. If a bullet was speeding your way and you were able to teleport an inch, literally, potentially, that inch could save your life. That sounds that inch could save your life. That sounds like an ad for like one of those like penis supplement pills on like Yornyub. They'll be like, this inch will save your life. Buy our growth pills right now. That inch will save your life. That inch is holding you back. Imagine pulling out the 1 inch teleport during sex. I do not ask them out. I do not swipe. I do not go to bars. I do not party. I do not cold approach. I yearn. And if a woman doesn't magically appear in my life, I die alone. No! No! But also... Anyway, next question. Oh my goodness, it's more relationship advice. In one of my college classes, there were 2 really nice girls that occasionally went up to talk to me after class, talk about their friend group, react happy to my responses when I spoke, and generally just expressed a lot of heightened affection for me. When the class was over, they looked really sad and said in front of the whole class that they'll miss me. I told them that I would miss them too with a smile, and I left not really knowing what else to do or say. If I went up to them to ask for their numbers or something in front of everyone, would I look like some kind of weirdo or playboy? They were calling me cute and stuff, so it felt a little flirtatious, but they did it at the same time to me? As a duo? Also, when we talked after class, they would just say bye and talk to each other as if I wasn't there, even though we were going in the same direction. I couldn't get the vibe if they just wanted to be friendly with me. If they were still attracted, if they were just playing me, or if it was somehow all 3. It's been months, and I can't piece this together. And the more I think about it, the confused I get. What do you think I should have done? Well, if it's been months, just let it go? If it's been months, that's a crucial piece of information. Just let it go. But you're asking what you should have done. I don't know. Chat. What do you think bro should have done? To use his terminology. What do you think bro should have done? How do we help bro find closure? Yeah, no, if they were it's been months and they didn't try to reach out to you, I don't know. They would have reached out to you. They would have tried to get, like, you know, your number. They would have tried. Bro is not locked in. Probably should have gone for the threesome, but too late now. I guess this is just a funny story. I wouldn't think about it too much about what you should have done, because it seemed like a pretty confusing situation, but it also kind of answered itself because they didn't really try to get your contact or anything. It's a funny story now, I guess. I'd say it's a funny story. Let it go. Hey, it's me again. Just watched your Lego stream. You were talking about your hand scars. Your scars are beautiful, just like your personality. And I personality would like a you like my scars ASMR. Oh, thank you. I'm not really all that insecure about them. But thank you. And I also kind of already have one. I released a succubus one on YouTube. But that's not a question. This is not advice. What is your dream sports car? These are not... This is not advice. My dream sports car. My dream sports car is any sports car that can transport me from point A to point B. I'm not a big car girl. You should have added a second question just for questions like this. I don't know, like a horse and a carriage. Somebody who can just like carry me everywhere. I don't know. That's my dream sports car. Next question. Bop, 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 bop. Any advice on keeping up consistency with brushing teeth, showering, things of the like, or mustering up enough care to do so? Well, mustering enough care seems like you've already identified the root cause, which is a good thing. You're making progress there. It's gonna be hard, you know. Again, this is another question where I might have to divert and say, like, chat, please give this person hugs. Take it one step at a time. Be proud of yourself when you get up out of bed in the morning. That can be really hard. Hugs in the chat. Hugs in the chat. What if when the thing only should the other part quite did where except insert pensive monkey sometimes in the way that because might not unless then suddenly as Next question. Kind of personal and real, but I wanted to ask, do you feel guilty after a goon sesh? I still sometimes do. Do you relate? And even if not, do you have any advice or words of wisdom you could share? Thanks for being awesome. Cat emoji. I don't feel guilty. I feel great. I'm like, holy fuck. That's awesome. I'm gonna go make myself a smoothie. Like, you're asking a girl, and I will tell you this, a lot of girls I know don't have post-nut clarity. I can't really give any advice, so I'm just gonna direct it towards chat and say, like, is this a common phenomenon? Because I don't have the equipment to answer this question. I think this is more of a guy thing. All I'm saying is, like, you know, I see it as an act of maintenance more often than not. It is an act of maintenance, and you can't really get mad at yourself or feel guilty for something that your body just needs or something that helps you relieve stress. You know? I don't know. That is I think that's a healthy way to look at it. You know? If you see it as, like, you know, maybe don't refer to it as a goon sesh and just refer to it as, like, you know, a tune-up. An act of self-care. I don't fucking know. That is my answer to that question. Next question. Hello, Ali Plus Chat. I feel like I used to be able to chat up a storm with people, but as of lately, literally nothing comes to mind when talking to someone. How do you combat this so you don't have any more awkward silence? Also, love the stream and hope everyone's having a good week. I don't know. It's an ebb and flow kind of thing, you know? Don't chat. Do not announce when you're masturbating. Do not announce when you're doing the do. No, thank you. Do I need to get out the video? I'm gonna get out the video. Oh my god. Alright. I got the video. I'm about to pull up a video that a lot of you need to see. Right now. At everyone, please do not announce to the server when you are going to masturbate. This has been a reoccurring issue, and I'm not sure why some people have such underdeveloped social skills that they think that a server full of mostly male strangers would need to know that. No one is going to be impressed and give you a high five, especially considering where that hand has been. I don't want to add this to the rules.
I did.
Since it would be embarrassing for new users to see that we have a problem with this. But it is going to be enforced as a rule from now on. If it occurs, you will be warned. Then additional occurrences will be dealt with at the discretion of mod staff. Thanks. Now let's get back to the stream, shall we? Alright. So my answer to this would be, it's an ebb and flow thing. Sometimes you just don't know what to say. Don't be too afraid of silence. If you're running out of things to say, it's okay if you want to just politely walk out of the conversation, or just be in mutual awkward silence with the other person. Yeah. Yippee, you. Just scream and run away. That's a great piece of advice. If you find yourself feeling awkward in a situation like that, just scream at them and run away. Trust me, people like that. People like when you're a screamer. Next question. How do you not get diabetes when you're so sweet? Thank you for the 15 gift subs, Ashare. Thank you. Thank you. Boo. Here's the thing. I'm not mad at pickup lines. I'm not. Delivery is just really important. Thank you for the 5 gift subs as well, Ashare, earlier. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Indeed. How do you pick up line better? I don't know. How is the delivery? Well, I didn't expect it, so it's not that bad. Good try. 96. Can you give me advice on how to improve my voice acting? Voice act more. Listen to voice actors that you look up to. See if they've done any advice panels on voice acting. Don't just try to imitate them. Really take the time to figure out what your style is, what your brand is. Like, for me personally. Listen, okay, disclaimer, I don't play League. I don't. I think the voice acting in that game is great. I think the voice acting in Dota is also great. I used to listen to those lines all the time. Because I would always have, I would get, like, these fan cast roles. And so I'd just be like, okay, well, might as well practice. Get really nerdy about it. Listen to a clip and like underline what made it work. Why that particular cadence worked for that line. Why that particular delivery worked for that line. What was the tone? Also, studying bad voice acting is a really good way to get good at voice acting. Like, studying what you don't like and what you think sounds weird will help you avoid it. Would I ever do a VA-focused advice stream? I don't know if I'd ever do that. I don't know if I'd ever do that. I could, but I don't know. I don't know if I could fill a whole stream with it. I'd maybe do like a segment. I could do a segment. Yeah. Seems like more of a video than a stream. I'd agree. So that's why I'd say I'd do it like a segment. Thank you for the gift sub, Low Violet. Thank you. Hey, Allie. I know this may be dumb, but it's a simple question of advice that I may have. What would you do if you turned into an Allie Fumo? Who would take over your stream if you're stuck as a doll? Great question. Well, what I would do is, what I would do is I would turn my webcam on and I would just have a stream where the Fumo is just staring. And maybe eventually, I'll move an inch by myself. It'll be like found footage. I don't know. Still not advice, but this question is funny. Next question. I'm having second thoughts about my major in college and I'm basically on my last year. It's been killing my motivation. What do I do? If it's your last year, then just finish your degree. Don't think that your major... So there's a two-part answer to this question, right? So don't think that your major determines what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Will it open doors in certain areas? Sure. Did it condition your brain to focus on certain industries or certain things? Sure. But I was a philosophy major, and now I'm an anime girl on the internet that makes egregious moaning sounds for a living. So I'm a bit biased, and I'm a little bit hope-pilled when I say, don't worry too much about it. Do what you can with what you have, but finish that degree. Finish that degree. You're already in the last home. You're already in the home stretch. Just get your degree. If you really want to major in something else and go back to school, you know, that's entirely dependent on your financial situation and what you want to do. But just finish your degree. Just finish the degree. Was the Fumo question from the guy who made a Fumoinator? I hope it was. That'd be funny. What the fuck else is a philosophy major supposed to do? A lot of what majors in colleges are, because a lot of them aren't really tied to specific fields and industries. Like, unless you're literally majoring in, like, farming. Or you're majoring in, like, you know, like, something very practical, like forestry or whatever. I would say... it's all about marketing yourself. I've gotten a lot of really interesting internships and really interesting jobs that have very little to do with philosophy. Like, very few of the philosophy majors I know are going into grad school for philosophy. A lot of them ended up becoming lawyers or law students or marketing people. Very interesting careers. Next question. Not a question, just saying you're doing great. Thank you. Actually, no, that's not what that says. No question, just want to say that you're dong great. You hear that, chat? You are dong great. You're dong great, chat. You're dong great. Nice dong, bro. Allie had a great dong. I'm doing great. This is not advice! Would you rather have a 6-inch replica of former Yankees catcher George Posada? It can walk around and carry tiny things, but is incapable of any form of communication. It seems generally happy. A talking frog. It speaks perfect English, but otherwise maintains the cognitive ability and intelligence of a normal frog. Accordingly, it just talks about wanting to eat bugs, yelling for a mate, and screaming in horror when it notices you. Number 3. A singing wasp, imprisoned in a plastic cube. The wasp is immortal and needs neither food nor drink. All of its songs are about how you should let it out of the cube, and sinister-sounding promises about how it will not try to sting you to death if you let it out. You do not know any way to open the cube. It has a lovely baritone singing voice. Or a decent but unremarkable piece of blueberry pie. I'm sorry. Pie. I love pie. Pie is my favorite dessert. If one of your parents broke a boundary you set 6 months ago, but made an excuse that it was for your own good and refused to apologize, would you forgive them and move past it, or hold out until they acknowledge/apologize for it? I'm gonna be honest, I probably wouldn't move past it. This is a hard question because I can understand why somebody would choose not to move past, choose to just move past it. Because, have you tried communicating to them that, okay, wait, no, first attempt to, we're missing a lot of context. I don't know if you live with your parents, if you're reliant on them. Perfect music change for this question, too. The music changes have been really on point. I haven't been touching anything. I don't know. You can move on, but really it depends on where you stand. Because I don't know whether this is the last straw for you or anything. There's just a lot of context that I'm missing. Next question. Okay, next question. Should I stop gooning? Next question, if it's affecting you in a negative way, I don't fucking know. Will you play the original version of Metal Gear Solid 3 before the Delta remake, or will you jump straight into... This is not advice! But I think I would just play it in chronological order? This is advice! You ask me for advice! Don't ask me anything! You know what? Fuck it. This is an Ask Anything, Allie Anything stream. My answer to this question is I would play the Metal Gear games in order. Because how else are you supposed to play it? Why do they call it oven when you off in the cold food of eat the food? Why do they call it an oven when you off in the cold food of eat the I don't think you asked this. I don't think you asked this the right way. But I do recognize this joke. Next question. Should I finish the Yakuza series or start playing Persona 5? These are the 2 series my friend recommended to me. I'm a third of the way done with Yakuza, but there's a ton of games. To be fair, the games are on discount pretty often, but I don't know if I should buy all the Yakuza games to finish off their series or just buy Persona 5. Do you have to choose between them? If you're not having fun with the Yakuza series, nothing's forcing you to finish it, unless you're a completionist. But I think you want to play Persona 5. I would say if you have the opportunity to do both, and you're not sick of Yakuza, for whatever reason you're sick of Yakuza for whatever reason, finish Yakuza. But if you're sick of Yakuza, just play Persona 5. I don't know. Dear Allie, one of the 4% female viewers here. A while back, there was a girl doing a PowerPoint stream, and I tried to riz her by submitting a lesbian riz guide PowerPoint that was 100 slides of me saying please, 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 which was very effective. I even put my number at the end, but I never heard back from her. Do you think it worked? Do you think I should try making her another lesbian Riz guide? Maybe the original guide wasn't long enough? Maybe I should autistically info dump about the history of lesbians and piracy and how they've impacted the pirate landscape. Chatter, are you okay? Fake news, only guys are on the internet. Fake news! Women do not exist. And I mean, you know what? I think persistence can be an applaudable trait. I am sorry that this person didn't call you back. Chat, this is a question that I will answer, that I want your answer on. Poll. Are girls, do women, are women real, or are they a nice, happy figment of our imagination? Okay, real, not real. What is real? This is a new question. Yes. The 4% will remember this, Allie. I'm sorry. Maybe this is the reason why we dropped to 4% from 7%. None of the above. Okay, so, I would say that presentation, not a bad touch. Sometimes you just gotta keep chugging along, you know? You just gotta keep chugging along. I'd say that the guide was probably pretty effective. And if you do end up making that other presentation, an info dump, I think it'd be really interesting. Maybe even video essay material. I don't know. Next question. How do you get yourself to do something you're anxious about? I get kind of nervous whenever I press the start stream button. But I just do it anyway, and I'm always happy that I do. So sometimes you just gotta push yourself to do it. You just gotta do it scared. Next question. Any tips for inevitable friendship fallout? Ooh. Be kind to yourself and understand that sometimes things just don't work out and people's tenure in your life just has a time limit. It's a great question. Friendship fallouts are hard. Friendship fallouts are really hard. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I'd say be nice to yourself. Give yourself time to grieve. You know? Try to do something to distract yourself. Focus on maintaining the friendships that you currently have. Keep putting yourself out there. Don't stop moving. And be your own friend if possible. That's a great addition. I agree. Be your own friend. When you're feeling bad about a friendship breakup, don't forget to be your own friend and be kind to yourself. Next question. Have you ever watched any tokusatsu? That's not... This is not advice! This is not advice! This is just a question! And also I watched Kamen Rider and I've also watched Godzilla. Favorite cheese, bro? This is Oh, you wanna go back to this question? Yeah, my piece of advice for the friendship fallout question would be, you know, be friends with yourself. Be friends with benefits with yourself, if you want. Let's go back to the cheese question. That's a great take, Chad. Let's go back to the cheese question. Favorite cheese? I love brie. I also like mozzarella. I like parmesan. I like cheese a lot. I fucking love cheese. But my favorite kind of cheese is truffle cheese. I like truffle cheese so much. I like truffle a lot of things. Truffle cheese is so good. Next question. Since you're Filipino, I'll assume that you know what Cherifer is. What are your opinions on the growth supplement? My whole family has been feeding Cherifer propaganda and how it'll get you taller ever since I was a kid, and it is total bullshit. I started to take it again, and I have not grown a single inch. Well, okay, not advice, but it is a funny question. For those of you that are unacquainted, Cherifer is a growth supplement that Filipino mothers feed to their kids so that they can grow taller. And, it doesn't work. I mean, maybe it did. Maybe I was supposed to be shorter than 5'2", 5'1", whatever the fuck my height is. But, I think it's ass. I think it's pure ass. It tastes like ass. It doesn't do shit for you. Cherifer is just ass. Yes, I used to use it. My mom made me drink it every single day when I was a kid. But also, if you drink... Yes, I am Filipino. If you're drinking it as an adult, then... You know... You're not gonna grow. You're not gonna grow. It's not gonna work if you're drinking Cherifer as like a 59-year-old man or something, or like a 29-year-old man. It's not gonna work. It's for kids. Next question. What advice would you give to someone who is about to start VTubing? Just have fun, avoid drama, don't use Twitter as your vent space. Have fun. Have fun. Next question. What is the most silly way to hit daily protein goals, boss? By drinking a lot of by drinking raw eggs like Gaston. Drink a lot of raw eggs like Gaston. Eat Costco chicken. This is a great question. Getting your protein in is very important. I eat a lot of protein throughout the day. I like protein is good for you. Costco rotisserie chickens are unironically super goated. How do you eat protein? I'm sorry. I get my protein in. 4 bowls of edamame. What I used to do was I would eat the same macro optimized meal every day for several months. I was very big on tracking my macros. I hit my daily protein goals by just locking in and eating the same thing every single day. As for a silly way, probably the cum thing. That sounds miserable. It was miserable. I have no idea why I did that. I don't do that anymore because I love life, and I like food, and I like appreciating my food. But yeah, the silliest way to get your protein goals is probably the cum thing. Next question. Did it work? No. Not really. Not really. I'm still a tiny girl. Will I still accept questions after this stream? I can accept maybe a few at the end if I get to the end of these, but I do have like 49 questions left, so I'm not sure. Hi boss, not advice but more of a note. Your 3D models, you like 3D models on the style of ZZZ, the new Trigun, or a more Guilty Gear style? Yeah, pretty much it. Enjoy the stream. Also, chat's stinky. At least you acknowledge that it's not advice. I'd say like Zen Zone Zero probably is a pretty good 3D model style. I like it. Have you ever felt empty, like you should be feeling something but you just can't? I think a lot of people that are here have. Do I have a 3D model? Who knows? Who knows? Huh. Dear Big A, I've been working out for quite a while, and despite seeing results via the amount of weight I carry, I still feel like a fat piece of shit. What do I do? Perception is your greatest enemy. I don't want to get too deep with this question, but I will say that this is a very common thing and you're not alone. a lot of people, when they start their like weight loss journeys and stuff like that, still feel like the same person they were starting out. It happens. If it gets serious, I would definitely get it checked out. Not qualified to help you with it whatsoever, but just know that you're seen and you're not alone. And be nice to yourself because you have objective evidence that what you're doing is working. How to fit gooning into my schedule? Next question. Allie, how do I talk to women? Next question. How to find comfort being alone as friend gets into relationships and talking to someone is only possible once every few weeks. Sometimes you just gotta be comfortable with yourself and maybe look deep and find try to find out the reasons why you're uncomfortable being alone. I think my editor died. I think this stream might have actually wiped him out. Shot. I'm trying to think. Like, I mean... Great question. I would say, like, find comfort in being alone. Try and figure out why talking to someone is only possible once every few weeks if you don't already know. Editor desperately trying to think of how not to make this the most depressing highlights video ever. I don't blame him. Maybe I should have made this an Ask Me Anything stream. But the thing is, if I did make it an Ask Me Anything stream, it would be, you already know that there'd be like 20 questions of like, do you have a boyfriend? What do you look for in a boyfriend? How do you get a girl? Like, it would be a lot of the same things. Next question. Miss Cursor, how do you stay motivated? I simply do. I am a crazy girl. Next question. If life gets tough and the going gets rough, how do you stay positive? I simply do because I have no choice. Next question. Big fan, first time questioner. How do you stay motivated? I just do. Next question. What do women want? Women want different things because women aren't real, but the ones that are real want different things because they're different people. Next question. How do I not fall behind on my studies even though I lack motivation? Next question. You just do it. Next question. How to approach my girlfriend about trying pet play without freaking her out? Oh. First of all, based taste. Pet play is fucking awesome. I would say ease her into it. Like, start with a few questions. Like, if before that, everything you've been doing is like vanilla, everything that's above board, something that you'd see in like maybe a rated PG film from the 90s, then definitely like just ease into the conversation. Don't ask about pet play from the get-go. Ask about kinks. And be ready for her to say, I'm not into it. But definitely start a conversation about like whether there's anything that she wants to try. So some people in chat are trying to do the fanfiction approach, the audio approach of like subliminally get her to like pet play without her realizing it. You can definitely just start the conversation because this is your partner. This is the person you're in a relationship with. This is not an awkward question at all. So definitely just like try to break the ice and be like, hey, is there anything you've ever wanted to try? And, chances are she'll probably say, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Jingle a leash in front of her and ask, walkies? And if she starts panting like a dog and if she starts going, yippee, 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 then you got her. Yippee, 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 yay, yay, yay. Yay. Next question. How old is too old to take up an instrument like piano? Never too old. Never too old. You can just take up the piano. Nothing's stopping you. A lot of people pick up hobbies all the time at every single age. Don't let people say like, oh, you should have started piano when you were younger. Now you can't learn it. Like, those are all just a bunch of stubborn people that are sad that they couldn't do something when they were younger and choose to make it their excuse for why they don't do that thing. Just do it. Just do it. Don't get too in the weeds about like, oh, my brain stopped like being able to be a sponge and absorb information when I was like 9. Just do it. How do I meet more people in college considering my schedule is packed, so no club? Maybe consider why your schedule is packed. I mean, if you're an engineering student, I guess you kind of just have to commiserate with your fellow engineers. Great question. I hope you figure that out. What do I do about my body dysmorphia? Sending hugs. Cannot give advice about that. Big boss, I no longer feel like I'm getting the gains I want from going to the gym, and I feel like my recovery time is longer after going to the gym. Do I start taking gear? No! No, 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 no! Push it away! Push it away. It's a no for me. No, 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 no. Next question. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? I have no idea how to answer this. I have no idea how to answer this. But again, going back to this guy, no steroids. Push it away. I'm smacking it out of your hand. Any advice for making your voice more clear? Well, being born with a clear voice, for one. Drink water. Vocal exercises. Wash your voice. Wash your voice. Drink lots of water. Do warm-up exercises. Vocalizing and being really into singing is unironically something that I've noticed that there are lots of Filipino VAs. And I think a lot of the reason why is that a lot of Filipinos are just very accustomed to using their voice. The karaoke and singing culture are really big in the Philippines. And because of that, a lot of Filipinos end up with very melodic voices. Not all, just a lot. But yeah, sure, if you want to make your voice more clear, like vocal exercises, unironically, like getting into singing if you want, could help. Just a bunch of things. I personally had a really dorky voice, and I still do, but I have a slightly clearer dorky voice because I practiced. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by clear, but if you mean like enunciating things, it's something you practice. Next question. So you're hot, sporty, smart, kind, and like a super fun person. At which point during skill point distribution did you look at God and were like, okay, that's nice, but I also want the hot voice and the acting or I'm not going? This is not advice! The way my heart started breaking more and more the more... Alright, I don't want to make this an Ali accepting compliments stream, but thank you. Dab. Next question. How would you try to get over or grieve a long-standing relationship that surpasses 7+ years? This doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a falling out with friends, relatives, losing a pet. How would you handle loss, essentially? I would say handling loss is tough. Grieving is tough. Just be kind to yourself and understand that grieving and overcoming loss is very non-linear. And there are days that you're gonna feel like kind of disappointed with yourself because you should have gotten over something. But there's no timeline to that. There's no deadline for you to get over something. You may very well never get over something. You just have to keep picking yourself up, and you just learn to get better about coping with it. There are gonna be days where it hits extra hard, and days where it doesn't. Ebbs and flows. All you can control is what you do with yourself. Thanks for the hydrate. Yeah. May I ask for climbing advice from a professional rooftop girl? How does one efficiently climb onto roofs with minimal energy/effort? Well, unfortunately, this is a question where I'm gonna have to flex and say I'm very used to climbing things. So I guess it's just something that I developed a skill for. You know? over time. When I was younger, what my parents would do, because I didn't really get a phone until a little later, was they would be like, okay, you know, go outside and play and be back before it's dark. And so what I would do is I would go out and play, and I would just climb a bunch of stuff, because that's what kids do, is just climb shit and stir shit and cause shit. And that's, I guess, how I got efficiently good at it. What I'm trying to get at is that you can practice at it. No particular skills. Get into rock climbing. I really fucking love rock climbing. That'll probably help. Just get really good at climbing. Bouldering, climbing, yeah. Just get good, man. Yeah. But my real advice is get into adjacent hobbies, and eventually, you'll become just like me and climb roofs with ease. Next question. How does one dummy-proof their house? AKA name all the ways I would need to lock myself out or find ways to dummy-proof the house. Okay, listen. The only reason I locked it, myself out of my house is because my door is old. So whenever I close it, it just automatically locks itself. I dummy-proofed it by going through the house and looking for all the different weak points that I could potentially crawl through. Then I crawled through them, and then I just sealed it up from the inside. That's how you dummy-proof it! Be a dummy like me, before somebody else uses your dumbness against you. Next question. Hey, Allie, I've recently hit 1 year of growing my hair out and wanted to get some advice on proper hair care for longer hair. And any hairstyle ideas for hair just past the shoulders in length if you know any cool ones for guys. This is a hard question to ask without knowing your hair type. That is the thing that I needed from this. I take hair care very seriously. But I can't really give you advice without knowing what your type is. 'Cause I have very straight hair. I have very straight hair. On the scale, I would say that I'm let me pull up the scale and see whether it's changed. I am a 1B. A 1B, 1C. So my advice is gonna look very different from somebody with natural hair that's a 3C. So I can't really tell you. Assuming their hair is Asian adjacent, brush your fucking hair. Brush it. Find a washing routine that works for you. Invest in products that are suitable to your level of oiliness. My hair generally falls on the oily side. So I get shampoo that is specifically prescribed to control the oiliness. Experiment with hairstyles. Ask your stylist what would work for your face shape. Because hairstyles are really less about your hair type and more about your face shape. Because you can always get your hair permed. But, the biggest determinant in what hairstyle you should get is absolutely, what suits your face shape, for sure. definitely ask your hairdresser. And the one thing that I'll always say is that having nice hair and having nice skin are very, very interconnected. Very, very interconnected. That's why a lot of dermatologists also look at hair. When I had like skin issues when I was growing up, they directly linked it to like you know, my hair. So because like, you know, like the oil can travel down. A lot of the people that study dermatology also tend to study like hair because you have hair everywhere. It's important to know what you have everywhere. So I would say, like, without really knowing your hair type, again, I can't really give you advice, but the advice I just gave is pretty general. Yeah. Also, wash your pillows. Wash your pillows regularly, change your sheets. That can definitely impact how oily your hair is and how oily your skin is. This is stuff that, like, a lot of people who had skin issues growing up are gonna know. But a lot of people who are blessed and never had to deal with skin issues and their entire face routine is just, like, splashing their face with water, they're not gonna care. Yeah. Easier solution, go bald, no hair, no hassle. I know a few girls, like, I know this one girl with, that had alopecia, so she had to get all of her hair out. And, like, her hair was falling out and she had to shave it all off. She has really banger wigs. I love how this is the longest response by Allie of the day. Because I'm excited! But I can't really give you help. I'm assuming, like, I can assume that you're like me, but I don't want to, like, yab your ear off if you don't have my same hair type, so, I need to know what that is before I can give you question, like advice. Next question. Do you have any meal prep advice? I'm trying to cut and I need to eat at home more. I wanted to know if you have any advice for efficient meal prep. Also, are there any cookbooks you recommend? We're getting to good advice! Okie dokie. Well, I would say, a lot of rice. You're gonna want to meal prep with something that stays container fresh and can be stored for long periods of time. Plus points if you can freeze it. If you can just freeze it. I would invest in a lot of Tupperware. I would focus on something that you're not gonna get, like, I would draft a list of food that you wouldn't get too sick of. Because a lot of what meal prepping is just like, you know, being very disciplined with what you put in your body and being very intentional with what you eat on the day-to-day. But yeah, no, if you want very, very specific advice, I'd say if you like rice, good. Because you're gonna probably be eating a lot of it if you're meal prepping. Rice. What I'm probably gonna do eventually is invest in like a big freezer. Because I have a family member who'll give me like cuts of stuff that I can just freeze. And that'll be really useful. Yeah. I want to do I eventually want to do a full stream on meal prepping because it's something that I am very into. But for now, just a few pointers. Next question. How can one become an even swaggier swagapino? You're just born with it, dude. I'm sorry. I can't really give advice. You're either swag or you're not swag. My bad. Next question. Dealing with burnout. I will be going into a very long program soon and will really appreciate any advice. This is another question where I have to say be kind to yourself. And that burnout sucks. And I'm gonna be repeating a lot of the same points that I've been saying, but like, motivation is something that ebbs and flows. If you notice that you're just more unmotivated than not, then that's something that you should definitely seek help on. And hugs in the chat. Hugs in the chat. Maybe those will help you get over a bit of your burnout. Next question. Are long-distance relationships worth the wait or just worth it in general? I answered this. This is the first question of the stream, I believe. So go back to that. Any tips for trying to approach someone? Next question. Next question. Okay. How do you think I could better show affection and appreciation and care for others? Because I compose myself in a very stiff way. I feel a lot inside, but my body often doesn't really match what happens in my head due to many factors. Okay. This is a good question, actually. I would take... No, like, you can take your shots if you want to, but this is a very specific way to ask this question. Because it sounds like they're hopeful and they're not just dooming, which is good. I would say, I know somebody that has facial paralysis and just cannot emote at all. Just cannot emote at all. They have a very robust friend group and they're very great. They're just really great. They're an amazing person. I guess what I would say is like, you know, I see your effort. It is like you're doing great, buddy. Sometimes, and this is something I deal with a lot because I can be expressive, but I tend to look very coy. Either coy or like annoyed. So my facial expression doesn't always match what I'm feeling. So I can relate to this question a lot. I would say like, know that even if your face isn't really showing something, your voice, the acts that you do for others, that's a great way of showing your care. You don't always have to show it through your face. So you don't have to put too much pressure on expressing things, because that might be a part of the reason why it's coming off unnaturally. I'd say yeah. Just focus on the many different ways you can show affection. Because, you know, you got options. You do. The college semester started and there's a really cute girl who sat next to me in class. What do I do? Sit and learn and listen to the classes that you paid for. Another shot. Next question. How do you find amazing artists for commission? Is there a method or is it just finding them in the wild? And going, wow, that art is amazing. Are they taking commissions? Holy crap. There are many different platforms. Skeb, VGen, recommendations. I work with a lot of the same people. I'd say the way that I find artists is a mix of both. I have to catch up with my artists that I commission on pretty much every platform conceivable. You can find them everywhere. And the good thing about artists is that a lot of them are looking for work. They also need money and they also need to, you know, pay the bills. There are many different places. What do you think is the best way to confront lasting trauma? Please refer to my response to getting over loss. I think a lot of the points are very applicable. I'm friends with this girl who's cute, funny, and smart, but we have a small snag. She roasts me like it's a competitive sport. Anything I say, instant roast. No way I deserve all of that. Why is she so mean? Meanwhile, I'm objectively dashing, charming, and a connoisseur of fine VTubers. The friendship feels unconditional on my part, but also like I'm chasing her. What do I do? Also, can you tell her to be nice and behave? I love watching your Twitch content and usually have you in the background while I work. Is this relationship... Is this a cat? Is this a cat? I think this is a cat. Are you talking about your cat? I'm gonna assume you're talking about your cat. That's fun. This is a cat. 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 Apples or oranges? Your answer will be very consequential. This is not advice, and it's also scary, but also apples. Next question. I graduate today. Any tips for moving forward from college? Holy crap. The rest of your life is awaiting. Huzzah! You are free from the shackles of having to do things for a grade. And now you are climbing into the shackles of having to do things for money. Congratulations! You are so back, but it is also so over. Huzzah! Woohoo! Yay! Next question. How do you come up with concepts for writing and creating characters and storylines? The voices in my head. I don't know. I kind of just come up with them. I kind of just come up with them. I let everything inspire me. Open your mind and find inspiration everywhere. Sometimes inspiration comes in very different ways. Sometimes inspiration comes through Twitch chat. You can ask Twitch chat for ideas. I'm sure they'd love to answer your questions. Give this person character advice and storylines that they can take. I don't know. You go, Twitch chat. Give him some character advice. Give him a character they can make. Giant flaming eyeball. That's a good one. It's a very good one. Reverse mermaid. Exactly. Like, you know, they have legs and they have a fish head. A reverse mermaid. They don't communicate in like regular speech. They go whoop, 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 whoop. Or whatever the fuck a fish does. Tsundere girlfriend. Vampire dinosaur. Yeah. You don't have to force creativity, but sometimes you do have to change your scenery and just like, you know, broaden your net. I'd say that would help. Thank you for the gift subs, Asher. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Holy crap, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Next question. Greetings, Red Dragon Mistress of the Sound Arts. I come seeking guidance in cultivating my skills. I am a part of a demonic sect of martial arts practitioners who roam the lands of Miram. I also have a fedora as the main centerpiece of my uniform. My master has deemed me worthy of learning their secret art, but learning said secret art requires a large amount of yin ki. Unfortunately, the only way to achieve this is to undergo the 72 blood women sacrifice ritual or to castrate myself. Therefore, I must beg of your help. Your ability to manipulate yin and yang through your sound arts is known far and wide. Maybe don't do all of that. Next question. Also, I hope you find that fedora. Dear God Gamer, today is Skong Day and I have learned that I have no self-control. How do I stop myself from calling off work for a week and sequestering myself in my room like a degenerate to play Skong all the way through? I have no idea what Skong... A silk song! Why do you call it Skong? Why are you calling it Skong? What's Skong? Skong? Why? A true Skonger. It's Silk Song. Thank you for the gift sub, Love Island. Thank you, thank you. Skong. Well, how do you stop yourself? Well, you don't. You give in. Cave into the Skonger that you know you are inside. Dear Allie, would you ever read us the book Go the Fuck to Sleep for ASMR? This is not advice, but I mean, if you want me to, sure. What is the derivative of this function, bro? No cheating allowed. Don't... This is not advice! Are you Timo from League of Legends? I'm not! Thank you for the gift sub, Mad Taz. Thank you, thank you. I am struggling so much. I am not Timo from League of Legends. This is not advice. How do you know when someone in your life is just too toxic? How do you know when to cut it off and how, especially if they've been in your life for a very long time? If you have to question that, then they probably are. They probably are toxic. This was you? Why? You know, I've gotten Pomni like at least 3 times a day for the past 2 weeks. Are you Pomni? Are you secretly Pomni? And earlier today, there was this DMer who was literally just DMing me a bunch of random Asian and Wasian celebrities asking me, is this actually you? Is this actually you? Is this actually you? I hate it. I hate it. Don't do that. I mean, all of them are wrong. I don't mind being like voice comparisons. That's fine, as long as they're accurate. But trying to guess if I'm like a celebrity is weird. None of them got them right. Like Palmy's fine. Palmy's great. Anyway, my answer to this genuine question, how to cut someone off and how to tell if somebody's toxic. If you have to ask yourself, they could be. They probably are. Are you Ash Ketchum? only when I do my anime boy voice. every girl I know can do a pretty decently god-awful anime boy voice. Have you ever had a dream that you want them to do you so much you could do anything? That kid was cute. But this part over here, you want them to do you so much you could do anything? Holy guacamole. You want them to do you so much you could do anything? Thanks for the 9 months, Coffee. Welcome in. How you doing? How you been? My goodness. Literally me. Next question.
Have you seen my wife? I know it sounds crazy, but I think she's here. She died 3 years ago, but I know she's here.
My advice to you, I don't know if I've seen your wife, but you should probably play Silent Hill. I think it'll make you feel better about having lost your wife. Mary, my wife. Mary, my wife, where's my wife? Next question. Cars are expensive. What is the best way to acquire one completely legally for 0 Canadian dollars? Download a car. Wait, no, that's illegal. That's illegal. There are many ways to jokingly answer this. My first response in my brain was,
make an account on Seeking Arrangement.
but while you would not spend dollars, you would probably be spending your dignity, which is, not good. I think your dignity is worth way more than its weight in gold. My first response in my head, sugar daddy or sugar mommy. I don't know. Steal one across the border and drive it back? I don't know how to acquire a car legally for 0 Canadian dollars. Steal an abandoned car and drive away? I don't know. This is a hard question. For 0 Canadian dollars, I guess Bitcoin would be a workaround. Wait, no! You pay for it with American dollars. That's how you get a car legally. For 0 Canadian dollars, you buy it with American dollars. Yeah. Smart. So smart. Next question. I know that you're typically happy to get any fan art, but are there any specific types of art that you like more than others? Not advice, but I do like this question. I like anything, really. I'm very happy to get the kind of and the amount of fan and community-based content that I do. It genuinely brightens my day. But whenever I see something new in my art tag or I see a new edit, that's definitely, I really like that, for sure. I don't know. I just like that people think about me and put effort to make stuff like that for me. It makes me feel good. How do I ask out the girl boy I like? You just do it! Next question. Hypothetically, if someone were set back to square one, where no skills or resources could be taken for granted, how would you suggest they build back up their life? my main piece of advice for you is, I would say, is it gonna be a just do it answer? My more comprehensive response is, if you've gone somewhere before, but you've gone back to square one, all you've done is prove that you can get back to that place you were before. A lot of really successful people I know have gone bankrupt multiple times. I'd say, don't give up. You have everything you need to get back to where you were. Yeah.
The fuck are you, a regressor MC?
Are you an anime protagonist? Put it on red. That's the real answer. Put it on red. I think the issue with this stream is I take the questions too seriously. Maybe the questions aren't the issue here. It's because I see people struggling and I want to give them advice and help them feel a little bit better. I shouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. I'm too nice. And this is the last question. Last question. Bro. That can't be all. What the fuck was this stream, man? What a strange stream. When we have the award show at the end of the year, is this stream gonna go in the best streams of all time category, the middest streams of all time category, or the worst streams of all time category? I'm still trying to determine which. Thank you for the gift subs, Papa November. Thank you. You wanna ask something? Sure, please. If it'll help me, please. This stream is tied with Monopoly. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ask me a few more questions, chat. The floor is yours. At the very least, when you ask a question, I can see who's asking it. Please open the form again. Would you recommend streaming on Twitch or somewhere else? Twitch is the platform that I'm biased towards, but I think YouTube is not bad. I like how they store VODs permanently, unlike Twitch. Honestly, I envy YouTube VTubers for a lot of things, so if I had to recommend you stream on any platform, I'd say YouTube. There are obvious pros and cons, but I'd say YouTube. Don't stream on Kick. Thank you for the bits, Michael. Thank you. I'm hella late, Senora. Did you answer the red or black, please? I'm betting it all. I said you should bet it all. Crunch or creamy peanut butter? Creamy. I like it creamy. Should I stream on Punch? Nah, I'd say Elbow is a lot better. Did you learn anything unique in the transition from purely VA work to VTuber work? I would say that being a VA helps a lot with being a VTuber, because it helps you get comfortable with saying things that you'd otherwise get really embarrassed about without VA experience. I would say that it's something that I've noticed over time, is that because of VA, I can say a lot of things straight-faced without being too embarrassed about it, so I'd say VA probably helped me a lot with streaming. Favorite type of pie? I like cherry pie a lot, and peach pie, and apple pie. I just really like pie. Pie is so good. How do you write believable dialogue? Sometimes you can only write what you know, so sometimes you just gotta look inside and write what feels right. She is 30 and I'm 20. Should I hit? You're both adults. Nothing's stopping you. Just make sure she's single. Are you bilingual? I'm technically, on paper I say I'm trilingual, but functionally speaking I'm monolingual. What was your favorite question asked this stream? Probably the Wood Elf one. That one was really good. I also like the wife question. Pally plushie when? Eventually. Do I have aphantasia? I think I might. Allie, how do I sever ties with a creator I low-key developed a parasocial relationship with? You just have to pull the plug. You just have to do what's best for you. How many weeks ahead of schedule should a YouTube channel be in terms of content? It really depends on how you work. Me personally, I like planning things very ahead, but like making a lot of content in a single like making a lot of content ahead of time can be really hard because time's a very finite resource. I would say there's no right answer to that. It all depends on whether you're good at like, you know, whether you're more of a planner or whether you're more of like a I'm only motivated to work on something when it hits me in the moment kind of person. Do I have autism? I don't. I have a lot of I have really crazy ADHD, but I'm not autistic. How much grace should you give people who irritate you, even if you know they do it unconsciously? As much grace as you are able to give. Sometimes it's not a lot, but you just gotta give it. Would you give us the names of the Redditors that were being mean to you? Oh, I wouldn't know their names. I only remember what they say. How do I introduce my friends to VTubers? Be like, hey, have you heard of VTubers? Let me show you. How do you avoid burnout and creator's block? I answered this earlier in the stream, but creator's block specifically, I can't really relate to because my issue is that I have too many ideas. So I might not be the right person to ask. I'm gonna answer a few more questions before I should probably make myself some din-din. What is your preferred RPG class? Paladin or mage? And one more question. Advice for living with ADHD. Figure out whether meds work for you. Otherwise, develop healthy coping mechanisms and stick close to them. Yeah. Question. Do I even engage in people who are so vehemently against a thing I like for some dumb reason? Especially those that equate VTubing with degeneracy. No, you don't engage with them. Life is too short to engage with people that shit on the things that make you happy. Especially when you can just spend that time doing the things that make you happy. Like, this is related to a question that I was asked earlier. Somebody was asking me, like, do you let a fandom or do you let other people's opinions change whether you like a piece of media? And I always say no, because the reasons I like something are very personal to me. So I just can't really be bothered to give a fuck, because I care too much about how important it is and how happy it makes me to let anybody tell me otherwise. Especially because it doesn't hurt anybody. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. So many questions. I will answer one more. Let me see. Oh, just a bunch of thank yous, yeah. A few of these are questions about future streams. Am I going to be doing any presentation streams in the near future? Yes, I'm going to be spacing them out a little bit so my editor can catch up, but I do really like presentation streams. Did your Swagapina question make the cut? It did. It sure did. And I basically said you kind of are just born with swag or you aren't. Would you say it's worth a while to study abroad? Last question. Yes. I'm biased because I've lived in multiple countries, but I think it is a part of the reason why I have the silly insights that I do. Both good and bad insights. Yes. Depends on the broad, I'd say. Make sure that the broad that you're studying is worth it. Make sure that they're a broad that would treat you well. I like it when like those old mafia movies where they refer to women as oh, that broad. Where'd that broad of yours go? Yeah, I like it. Would I ever play Final Fantasy? Yes. Am I gonna be doing another meme dubbing scene? Yes. Would I watch Lord of the Rings Uncut? I have, and I loved it, and I'm gonna be doing it every year. Yes. Okay. So, have I ever watched Goodfellas? I have not. Okay. No more questions. We are done for questions for today. But this was a lovely stream, chat. I still had fun. I hope you still had fun.